Hi, I'm Mark Buckingham, artist of Miracle Man, Fables, Death, and many other books over the years, and you're listening to 11 O'Clock Comics.
Passable? Okay.
Yeah, very strong. Okay. Nice. No shit. It's amazing to me how many times you get in one. We joke around that, every time you get in one. Obviously you don't. But you have been.
He's been on a roll.
Yeah,
he's been on a roll. Yeah.
At least, I've been missing in action here, there. But let's just say I did 8. I don't think that you've, in 8 episodes that I know of, that I don't think you did more than one take.
I think that's right. You're right. And in the 14 in between those 8, he's actually been spot on as well.
Yeah, I don't think it was 14. Whatever. This is 11 O'Clock Comics, episode 1028. And I am Vince B.
You are Vince B. It is great to hear your voice again, brother. Glad you're back. I am David A. Price.
I concur with Dap's sentiment, and of course that's because I am Gore the God Butcher.
Wow.
Oh.
Jesus.
Gee, I wonder who he's picking.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
You're not Gore the God Butcher. You're Jason Wood, everybody. What's up? Brought to you, as always, by cheapgraphicnovels.com. Cheapgraphicnovels.com. Whether they're looking for an Ocean, a trade paperback, Envo, Finest, Epic Collection, do they still call them there?
Yes. Yeah, modern Epic Collections now, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's nuts how many DC's Finest there are. It's nuts. Do you blink? It's like, goddamn it, they just started. No.
Every week, yeah.
Yeah, the line started in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've got some titles, some volumes are like in. They've had more than one. They've had 2 Justice Societies. They've had a couple of Wonder Women. I mean, and I love that it's not consecutive. So if you feel like reading the Don Heck Wonder Woman, they got that collection. If you want to read the George Perez stuff, you've got that collection. I like that they're not being like the Rick and Morty compacts. Yeah. They're not being published as consecutive issues.
I know this is a cheap graphic novels commercial, right? But the fact that The Simpsons is not reprinting the entirety of the run is baffling to me. It's crazy. From what I can get, it's like 105 to 199, 106. Like that's crazy. Reprint them all. There's nothing, from personal experience, there's nothing wrong with the challenge of the run, and it ended at issue 245, I believe. Like, why they were printing them in 6, 7-ish chunks and they're not reprinting them all. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
You get paid per craft. That's cool. That's fun. You're right. Like the Mad Folding. How many people are actually going to build it? Not so many. But it's manga, right? Art books. If you're looking for it as a swine and a retail price, ha ha ha. Max is gonna laugh at that price and discount heavily. In addition to that, great shipping, fast sales out the wazoo, where you get a Nick and Dent, you get a March Madness, you get a whatever. He has specials as well.
He does have specials. And we're kicking it off with a DC Finest, Justice League of America, Starro the Conqueror trade paperback for $23.99. 6 heroes, 1 star-shaped alien menace. This is how legends are made. When an alien being with cosmic powers attacks Earth, a new era of heroism is born. Starro the Conqueror forces the DC Universe's greatest champions to unite, launching the first Justice League and sparking a legacy of team-based storytelling still going strong today, packed with battles against villains like Despero, Felix Faust, and Kandra Rowe. This collection showcases the early years of the JLA, wild sci-fi plots, impossible odds, and the birth of super team chemistry. It's the origin story for the world's greatest heroes, told with the imagination and excitement of comics' most influential era. Brings together The Brave and the Bold, numbers 28, 29, and 30, Justice League of America, numbers 1 through 19, and Mystery in Space, number 75. Girl Who Draws on Whales trade paperback for $12.59 from Ariela Kristantina, artist of the Eisner Award-nominated graphic novel Adora and The Distance. The Girl Who Draws on Whales is set in a fantasy world several centuries after the Great Flood. Sister Wangi, and her younger brother Banyu live in a sea village. Wangi has a special bond with the great whales that visit their sea village, and they allow Wangi to draw on their backs. Sometimes they return with new drawings on them. Wangi believes that there are other sea villages or island settlements scattered around, and that they are sending her messages, but none of the elders listen to her. One day, a new whale arrives in the village, alone, wounded, and dying. This whale has a new drawing on her back that doesn't look like previous drawings. Inspired by this mystery, Wangi vows to investigate. Although forbidden by her parents and village elders, Wangi, along with a stowaway who happens to be her brother Banyu, embark on a wondrous journey to investigate where the drawings are coming from, only to find much more than they were expecting. And finally, Statues. Junji Ito Story Collection hardcover for $18.75. Art teacher Okabe creates strange, headless statues. One day, he is found murdered, his corpse headless. From that day on, art club member Shimada seems off somehow. Elsewhere, in a curious town custom, the dead are placed on a tatami mat and set out on the river. Kanako's grandmother lives alone in a house near this river. What did she witness at one of these funerals long ago? And a mysterious disease makes girls suddenly become more beautiful, but soon they all die. The only way to survive might be worse than death itself. 10 tales from horror master Junji Ito that will plant the seeds of terror in your hearts.
Yes.
Very nice.
It was not... yes, it was Starro, but it was mostly the Avengers that gave birth to Justice League. Well, we'll let it go.
No. It was the Justice League, because that's what gave Stan's Uncle Martin the needle, the nudging to create the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Martin Goodman
Uncle.
was never an idea he did not rip off.
Well, sure.
But like Stan and cheapgraphicnovels.com.
Yes. Also, speaking of, before you, I wanted to say, because we have had a flurry of new patronage. So I want to welcome 3 new patrons to the club. Welcome, Mr. Cameron Schrader. Welcome, a longtime listener, I believe, first-time patron, Mr. Mark Petz. And as an especially warm welcome, sorry if I'm playing favorites, but welcoming back into the fold, longtime friend and supporter and very long time patron until recently, back after a bit of a hiatus to handle some work and personal business, Mr. Christopher Burton. So welcome aboard, everybody. Thanks for the support, and we look forward to chit chatting with you.
I get the emails. This person just became a patron, and I always try to write them down, and I'm like, what am I doing? Of course, they're gonna get some. It's silly, and you get them eventually. So it's a good thing. Patreon.com/11 o'clock comics 11 no apostrophe.
This is right.
Yep.
True that.
I'm drinking.
Yeah? Do tell.
What you drinking?
Well, it's not wine. I didn't have time.
Okay.
It's beer. Lager, specifically, by the Treehouse Brewing Company. This is called Nomad. It's a sugar maple. It's a dark lager, which has the name Timave Pivo. And it's 16 ounce, which is 32 ounces if you count the cans. And it is a lager, and it's not bad. It's not bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounds like pretty horrible to me, but I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
I feel like I'm, mix it up a little. I do love the beer, but measured. I love the wine more, but I love the beer as well. So I figured, what the hell? Let's mix it up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I am drinking something that the wife brought home and said, why don't you try this? So I'm trying it. It is called Surfside, and it is a vodka infused canned beverage. In this case, it is black cherry lemonade and vodka. So so it's new to me, but she likes them, and so I'm trying it. It's not bad. It's weird. It's weird because well, I guess because I expected it, and I'm used to when I drink these things for it to be carbonated.
Yeah.
And this is not. It's like literally, it's basically like lemonade with vodka in it. Well, it's not basically, it is lemonade with vodka in it. So I had to get used to that because I keep sipping it thinking it's flat.
Oh, okay.
But it's flat by design. It's not meant to have bubbles, but in my mind I keep thinking, oh, this has gone flat. But it's in fact as it's intended to be. So yeah, so there you go. So Surfside, black cherry lemonade and vodka.
Real talk. I would drink shit if Beth brought it home.
Well, I mean, cool. I don't know what to say.
You do you.
Player.
I brought something for you to try it. Okay.
Well, that's why I'm trying it. I'm trying it.
There you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
My gosh. Nothing major for me tonight. Just a few fingers of some Blanton's single barrel bourbon whiskey.
Oh, nice. 2 in the pink.
That's right.
Nowhere. That's right. So nice.
You have to run it.
There's nothing ruinous about 2 in the pink, my friend. That's about making it great.
I mean, unless your nails are jagged and you bite them and shit, then that might be.
Oh, well, for sure. That's just disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
100%.
Yeah. You got to be fresh and clean if you're gonna take that route.
It just keeps getting worse.
You started it, Vince. You could have just let it lie.
I did.
True.
Yeah. Well, no, I can't let it.
I know.
So
I
we have a theme episode tonight. A theme episode.
Yep.
And maybe we'll get around to talking about the impetus for it. But the impetus was I read.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
I read Superman Spider-Man #1, and again we'll put aside my personal feelings on it, but I just was reading it and then thinking, how much of our fandom, which now spans between the three of us well over 100 years, which is both depressing and impressive, I guess, but collectively well over 100 years of reading comics. How often do we and all of our friends and listeners and supporters have we accepted just bang on average, or what we'd say like it was good superhero comics? Like, we have read so many superhero comics that we just have conditioned ourselves that like there's a baseline, and as long as it's a baseline, it's worth continuing that perpetual motion machine and reading more.
Yeah.
And like, again, like, this is not new news. We've talked about this a million times. It's part of fandom. It just got me thinking though that like it's so rare that we get, like, at least from my vantage, like legitimately great big two superhero comics. Like it's so rare, in fact, that you can pretty much count on your hand how many times it's happened in like any given title. And so
there are some on the list where I couldn't even think of a great one.
And that may be part of the conversation. Yeah. So I said, okay, let's do that. Well, first I threw it out to the Slack to sort of just broach the conversation. But then I said, actually, what this would make a fun and pretty easy on the brain episode, because we don't have to do a lot of research here. It's just based on our own reading histories. So I came up with a list of I'm not going to say it's fully complete, because it wasn't like but I threw out a list of the tent pole concepts, characters, teams of Marvel and DC, and said, let's go through this week our thoughts for what the most recent great story or arc was for these titles. And we didn't really before tonight like put any agreed upon terms as to how we define it, so we each defined it our own way, but I defined it as something where you remember the story vividly, you'd love, whether you have or haven't, you would be more than willing to reread it excitedly, and it would be something where if someone said to you, hey, I'm really interested in experiencing this team or this character, what should I read? It would be one of the things you say they should read. Meaning that if you tell them to read it and they don't like it, well, then that character is probably not for them. But you're trying to hook them, and that's kind of was the litmus test. And then the idea is, what's the last one? So again, we're not looking for the best one. We're not asking for our picks of what we think the best run or best arc or best story is of these characters. It's what was the last one you would consider great, and I'm interested to see how we do it. I joked this week, Vince, offline about you that I figure yours are gonna be like Kirby and stuff. So we'll see, because you're old school, but we'll see where we come up with.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I think we'll get there.
Yeah. So I have them listed alphabetically. So if we could just do it alphabetically, that'd be easy, because I got my handy dandy spreadsheet set up so I can capture all of our votes. So the first one on the list is Batman, and Vince, as you often do, why don't you give us, tell us what you think the last great Batman arc was, or run?
Jeez, see, Batman is an anomaly.
Okay,
because it was good to stinky for a lot of years, but it's also the best. Given one or two storylines, it's the best that comics have gotten. And okay. I think if we're talking Batman and we don't say Dark Knight Returns, there's a problem.
But no, but see, hold on, but before you go on, Dark Knight Returns, again, we're not asking for the best one ever. We're asking for the most recent great run or arc. So, like, I think most people would agree that Dark Knight was an all-time great, if not the greatest. But are you saying you think there hasn't been a great Batman run since Dark Knight?
It depends.
Okay.
on whether year one preceded or followed Dark Knight. Because if I had to pick, it would be Dark Knight Returns. But if we're going chronologically, like you planned, and year one comes next, year one would be my pick.
Year one cover dated February 1987.
So it came later.
Yeah.
Well,
Frank did.
DKR started in '86, right? Or did it end in '86 as well? So DKR.
So I would say year one.
Yeah.
That was the last.
Okay, so
which is still
Vince is he's picking something from 1987,
right? Which is still about 40 years old.
I'm just saying you.
So in 40 years,
which is okay.
Okay.
I think Batman is good.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's great.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, and
exercise. Yeah.
Right. It hasn't been in a long time.
Okay.
Whereas, not to slight anybody who's worked on the title.
No, again, that doesn't mean that there haven't been like with almost all these characters. I think they're good runs we may enjoy or especially in the moment. That's the exercise isn't it's it's not good is not good enough for this, right? That's the whole
point. Year one, it's crazy good.
Oh, year one is near perfect.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're naming the two hands down. I mean, we've had these conversations before. Best Batman runs ever. So again, I don't. No one's going to push back that these are great runs. In fact, they're the two greatest runs. I think, or two greatest stories. It's just a question of whether or not we agree that it's been 40 years since there's been a great Batman run, which I don't agree with. But that's fine. I mean, again, that's the whole point of the exercise. So
I think there have been really good runs.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Tom.
As I said before we started, I expected your list to date to skew much older.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
I think Tom did a wonderful job. Snyder did a great job, but they're not year one.
No, okay. No, but just to be clear, they are not year one, but that's not the test.
Right.
Like again, like it's whatever your version of definition of great is. Like the bar isn't better than DKR or year one. That's because that's the conversation of the greatest. This is it great or not? Like, is it on?
Yeah, I would say no.
Okay, all right. So Vince's Batman year one, 1987. Dap, what is yours?
So, and just to give you an idea of my thought process, how I approach this. Because for whatever reason, I kept missing the part about the last great arc, the last great storyline or what have you. And yes, I realize that some of my answers here are going to be either tinged with nostalgia to some degree, or I'm also looking at it in the sense that if I stopped buying a book, if I stopped buying a series, there had to be a reason for that. And obviously I wasn't feeling it. So then I had to go back or think about when the last time I was buying regularly off the rack, the pull list, whatever. So at first, because we're old and busted, the absolute stuff is still kind of like just too new. So right away, when I saw Batman, I went right to fucking like Doug Munch, because I'm like, when was the last time? But then, yes, of course, Tom stuff, which we were all reading at the time, and I really did enjoy that. So it's kind of like between those two writers that the last time I really gave a crap about Batman, and until Absolute Batman, but even the Fraction stuff. But I mean, we're 8 issues into that, so I'm not including that on anything yet. But yeah, it would, for me. I haven't looked forward to or bought a Batman book since Tom was writing the title.
Okay. I don't offhand. I have to look up. I don't offhand remember the years for that, but obviously it's titular Batman. Whatever volume it was.
It was.
I'll look it up.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I am. Yeah, I went with Absolute Batman. I think we're in the middle of a great Batman run. So that was actually one of the reasons I wanted to have this talk, because I think that there are two titles. There are two characters on this list that are currently in the middle of great runs. One of which I think is already arguably the greatest run we've ever had of the character, but that not being Batman. But
I just lied.
But
I just lied.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'll say Absolute Batman, because I just realized who I wrote down on one of the other characters. So yeah, that's.
Aha. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, and actually, I was thinking for a second, well, it's Absolute because it's still going and too new. If not for that, what would I've picked? And again, objectively, I would have to give it to Snyder and the run he had on Batman that started with Capullo. Obviously, he wrote it for much longer than Capullo drew it, but and it's funny because you're right. Tom King came after that, and we did read that. And obviously, I love Tom. I mean, as a human being, I mean, I'm much closer to Tom than I am any of the other people involved here. But for me, I don't remember Tom's being great. You know, I remember. Yeah. I remember more about Scott and Capullo's run than I do Tom's run, if I'm being honest. So
I remember some of the art. There was, I mean, obviously, Alfred's demise. There were the whole. I mean, Tom had some great building up moments, and I mean, there was the double date, the two-parter that Clay Andrew with the World's Finest and their spouses. So I mean, there were definitely some highs, but I mean, if you're going over consistency, I mean, Snyder gave you the Court of Owls and I mean, it went on for a while, but yes, I absolutely get that, and part of this may be me not wanting to give certain creators the rub, but I can't. And we're still. But I mean, listen. I mean, we're talking about Absolute Batman just about every issue that drops. So I mean, he's doing something right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No. Okay. So fair enough. It's interesting. We probably are going to have. I'm guessing we're all going to have different answers for a lot of these, but there are a few I think we'll have the same ones. Up next is Captain America, and we'll go Serpentine here. So I'll go first. This was pretty easy for me, and I think to Vince's point, I don't think. And again, this is a character I've read a good chunk of his comics pretty much forever. So I do feel qualified to at least have an opinion on it. But I will also, to Vince's point, I don't know that there have been many truly great Captain America comic runs. He's generally better, or at least more memorable as you know, the leader of the Avengers and in those books. But that said, I thought this was a pretty easy one for me because I do think this my pick was actually legitimately great. And for me, like the standout run that that the character's ever had, and that is Captain America Volume 5, which was published in from 2005 through 2009. You know, probably most people think of it as the Brubaker era. It was written by Ed Brubaker, with the main artist being Steve Epting. Obviously, with comics, there's always rotating artists, but Epting was the main artist for most of that run, and I think that was a legitimately great Captain America run. So that's my pick, Captain America Volume 5.
Same. I that was the only answer I had for Captain America was Brubaker.
Yeah. Y'all are nuts, but
okay.
You don't remember when we got the house ads with Jack's back and okay.
No, the Captain America was always good, but great.
No, that's fair. Like I said, I don't think Captain America, but I think that run, and it's only like 30 issues, is a legitimately great run of comics. But we're talking about a guy who's got 600 issues of his title all in, right? Like,
so, I mean, not for nothing. Okay. I mean, they mined Brubaker's run for how many Marvel movies so far? I mean, there is a reason. Yeah. It's, I mean, that's like if someone's like, hey, I'm new to, I want to read some more Cap stuff. Like, are you going to give them the Grunwald stuff of Capwolf or a bunch of Serpent Society issues drawn by Paul Neary?
Run, right? Like, yeah, I mean,
you give them the Grunwald run.
But the Grunwald one gave me the Serpent Society. It gave me, a lot of fond memories. But no, I don't think
Deathlock.
the run is nearly as like well crafted and timeless as Brubaker's run.
Right.
But again,
Exactly.
No, it's not. But that's part of the charm.
it is absolutely.
I think
So before it's older than the Brubaker run. So again, that's why it wouldn't be my pick. For
if I had to pick, I would say The Man Without Country.
Oh, the Wade stuff. Wade Garney.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
As being the greatest Captain America story.
Okay, yeah, that's a good pick.
That was only 8 issues.
Yeah,
But that's
8 or 9.
and because fucking Heroes Reborn, and then and then they tried to placate him by once that wrapped up. They when the Avengers and Iron Man and everybody came back, they gave Wade the book again. I guess to try to maybe reclaim some momentum. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
Didn't work.
nope.
I love the Capitol stuff. It's goofy. Diamondback, the Serpent Society.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
that's, I mean, yeah, because you love Frankencastle. I mean, that's
so-
I love that you love that.
So kitschy that
Absolutely.
you can't help but love it. I think the Brubaker run is good, but there are parts of it where it's like,
Fair enough.
really? Let's speed things up a little
All right.
bit.
Well, you have the honor because it would have to be no other way of telling us about Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, other than the Kirby run, which I think is one of the greatest runs.
Of course,
Yeah.
and again, that's not like no one's just like the Kirby run is like that is a given. It's again, we're not talking greatest. We're talking the most recent great.
The Burn run.
I knew it.
Okay.
I knew it.
Well, listen, it was going to be either the Burn
I thought
run
it was either going to be
or the one
Byrne
that I'm
or
gonna pick.
Hickman.
So it was
Yeah.
either going to
Which is better, the Burn or the Kirby?
Well, the Byrne's a
Well, again,
continuation
Burn
of
came
it.
after, so that's your answer.
Yeah.
Burn is because if
Yeah.
it's between those two, Burn's your answer because it's most recent. So
Right.
yeah, okay. I mean, again, I'm it's probably my favorite run of all time of it. So I'm not gonna. Yeah.
And this was a perfect example because this was where I looked at when was I buying it? When was the last time? Because I bailed on the Miller Hitch stuff early on. Everybody loved the Hickman stuff, and I enjoyed it to a degree, but I was in and out. But the last time I was buying the Fantastic Four and enjoying it was when Wade and Waringo were on the book.
Yeah.
Which is the late 90s, early aughts.
Right. And the run is good. Really good.
It holds up.
Wade
It's a
Waringo
great.
Wade Waringo was 2002 to 2005.
Okay, yeah. That was a great run. I mean, they brought back the fun. I mean, yeah, you had it was Valeria and there was a lot of Doom stuff and
Burn ended
Magic,
in
but-
'86.
Yeah, Burn. Yeah, because then he went across the street to work on Superman. But yeah, that's
I think Fantastic Four is Byrne's epitaph. Where I think he did more for the comics industry on Superman, but he did more for comics with his Fantastic Four run.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's awesome. I mean, it's an incredible run. Probably not a surprise. My pick is in fact Hickman's run. I think, and again, this is most recent, so I would rank them Byrne, Kirby, Hickman, but I think there have been 3 legitimately great Fantastic Four runs, and Hickman was obviously the most recent, ending beginning in 2009, ending in 2012. So that is my pick. So, and we'll get to Hickman again later because I think Hickman is. I thought Hickman was going to have a very interesting position in this discussion, and he does. But there's another creator who runs laps around him with an even more impressive distinction. And so by the end of the night, we'll get to it.
Yeah. See, the problem I have with lists like this is that Jack created,
What's that have to do with it? Again, it doesn't. This isn't about the greatest. See, I think you're really getting like I can't be like this is not about what's the greatest or most important run. It's when was the last great run. The whole idea of this conversation is that we tolerate lots and lots of mid to average comics, and we read them. We read these runs for years and years, just tolerating bang on average comics, waiting for a great run that gets us excited again. And I would argue that with most of these tentpole comic characters, it's been a really long time since we've had one of those runs where everybody loved it and could talk about it. Yes. And it's an exercise is when was the last time we were all reading and talking about a book, and it stands on its own now where you can say to someone like, oh, I want to read some FF. What should I read? And you could hand them this run, and this run. That's the exercise. Yeah. Again, it's not about is Hickman better or on par with Byrne. No, I don't think he is, but was in and of itself great. Did I find it gripping? Do I remember it? Would I be able to hand it to someone and say, read this? This is great FF. That's the way. Like we need to think about this again. Not is it the best? It's not about the best. Is it great? Is it among the greatest? And
according to your parameters,
yes,
comics have sucked for a long time.
Well, maybe we'll see. Again, I actually have. Once we get through the list, I mean, I'll have to do your guys' average, but I have the average time of duration since we last got a great run for each publisher. Go through that. All right, so fair enough. So next up is Green Arrow. Again, Green Arrow probably similar to Cap in that there have been a lot of Green Arrow comics. Pretty much has been published for decades without fail. I think there are a few like great runs. Again, not great in the sense of like no Green Arrow run is like up there with the best Batman runs, right? Like that's not the test. But for me, the most recent what I consider to be great Green Arrow was 2013, 2014, Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino. And the interesting thing about that run, you may remember, is they launched Green Arrow was part of the New 50. Well, it was one of the 52 books in the New 52, and it was not a successful one. The first 16 issues were a bust. Yeah. Everybody hated it, and so they swapped out with issue 17 and gave it to Lemire, and the book took off. And the run, I think, stands the test of time. I remember it vividly, really enjoyed it, so that's my pick. But again, admittedly, I think when you're some of these characters, you're like it's a sliding scale of how we're defining great, right? Like it's great within the context of the character, not necessarily like do I think it's one of the greatest comics runs of all time. So that's my pick. Green Arrow, Lemire Sorrentino.
For me, it's the
Longbow Hunters.
No, I'm not. This is me, not Vince. Vince gonna be like Hard Traveling Heroes. No, it's the volume. It's the era that the first 12 issues were Kevin Smith. Then Brad Meltzer came in, and the rest of the run was finished off by Judd Winnick. I have the complete run of that. It's 70 odd issues. Of course, the slight hiccup, which affected all the DC books, was the 1 year later because we got Infinite Crisis and 52 during this run. But yeah, that was, and I mean, I was there with the New 52 with when they tried that Green Arrow for the first couple of issues, which was odd as fuck because he's not young, But yeah, so the show was on. They were trying to do something, and I've dabbled with Green Arrow here and there, but nothing has stuck with me or gave me that feeling that this is the character I remember than when Winnick and company were on.
And I'm sure if we did this recording a year from now, it'll be Pornsack and Raphael will be the answer.
Absolutely. Yeah, those 6 issues, man, magnificent.
That's right.
Be all and all.
Now, Vince, tell us why it's Mike Grell.
It is Mike Grell.
It is.
Yep. All right. It is the Longbow Hunters.
Yep.
I did behind the curtain. I did very little research. It's amazing how fast whatever pops into my head first is what I remember.
Sure.
Right. for me, it's the Longbonders.
Yeah, it's fair.
I think it's extremely good.
Yeah.
Which is nuts considering I'm not well, I haven't been my girl Mark, but I do like his Green Arrow. I like his Warlord, but great. I don't know. I don't have a problem with Longbonders staying.
All right. Do you have something from this Sentry for Green Lantern?
I do not.
No.
I would pick the Sinestro War.
There we go, Jeff Johnson.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember you were looking for the Vendetti stuff, the green. You were buying the trades.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
Green Lantern Corps and everything. So I mean, I know you were digging
Yeah.
it. I'm not saying that was the best
I
thing.
do
to
it.
read, but-
I'm glad you said it because that is legitimately great comics. We love that shit, dude. The fucking again comics. They were giving out the fucking rings. People were marking out over the rings at the shops.
Yeah, yeah.
The different colored cores, which now again is tired and overplayed. But like at the time, it was like we were all like, that's so smart. Like why didn't anyone ever think of that before? You know, and as much and to Dap's point, as much as I don't want to give this dude any credit in the world. It all did start with Rebirth, which was drawn by Van Sciver, which again, like I don't, but fortunately, that was maybe in the first few issues of all this. But Johns did this book from 2005 through 2011. Obviously, we had the Sinestro Corps War, we had Blackest Night. It was legitimately fucking great, you know, until it wasn't, which is when he walked away from it. But it was fucking must read. It was great. Yeah.
And then they tried the Sinestro Corps War with Blue Beetle.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Listen, the big two are always going to they're always going to commoditize their own good ideas. It's always going to happen. So
yeah.
But I assume that's yours as well, Dap.
Yeah, I mean, even if, unfortunately with the artist, but I mean, John's.
Well, no, that's just Rebirth. That's just the first 6 issues. I mean,
right? Yeah, that's the mini that kicked it off, and then he was there for the first couple of issues of the ongoing until Weiss came
But I'm saying
on.
we got like 60 issues without him. I mean,
oh yeah, and it's I mean, and it, even though,
like I think of Yvonne Heiss as the like when I think of that run,
100%
main.
Absolutely, I don't disagree at all, and you know, I mean, and Johns was definitely getting this. I mean, I also have Vendetti here, but I mean, Johns is on here because he was respectful. He brought Hal back, and there's nothing wrong with that. So
exactly.
There you go.
All right, next up is me, and it's Iron Man, and I am not going to hold. I don't think there's a great Iron Man. I got to be honest with you. I have written down. The Warren Ellis Adi Granoff Extremis as my pick, which I really did enjoy. Like I'm not gonna like front like, but all kidding aside, like as we've started having this conversation, like I gotta slightly raise my own bar because I don't think I'm being truthful if I pick it. I don't think there's a truly great Iron Man run single.
Which makes what Robert Downey Jr. what he's done for the Marvel Cinematic Universe all the more incredible. Because I agree with you. If you know, it's Stepstone, but mine is old and busted as well. So it's like I don't think there's a truly great Iron Man run. There's a lot of good ones. Yeah,
there's fun stuff. Their Armor Wars was fun, and there's definitely like, and then the roadie stuff. Like there was definitely like stuff I enjoyed and enjoyed as different parts of my life. But I just don't think any of it's like I
agree.
Yeah. Well,
I agree.
Dap, do you disagree?
I don't. I don't disagree because I've tried most of the first issues of recent Iron Man series. And yeah, the last time that I got a kick out of an Iron Man comic was way back in the late 80s when Denny O'Neil was drawing it. Luke McDonald penciled it. Then you had Mark Bright draw it. And I mean, so yeah, that's post Demon in a Bottle. That's the Obadiah Stane stuff. That's Rhodey becoming Iron Man. I mean, yeah. So but yeah, anything since then just hasn't measured up for me.
I see a lot of
Yeah.
people were giving credit to Invincible Iron Man by Fraction, and I love Fraction, but you can get the fuck out of here with that. You can get the fuck. That is not a great comic. I'm sorry.
No.
Like if that.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That's not. But yeah.
Again, Demon in a Bottle, I think
Yeah.
is the quintessential.
Yeah,
You got Michelini and Layton.
Essential. Yeah.
yeah. Mussolini Lane. Yeah,
And that was before 1990.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's been
Mussolini
a long-
Lane
Before Secret Wars. Yeah.
It was 82.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, you're
whenever-
with what?
humor me.
Go ahead.
Whenever they swap out a character, you joke around with the listeners that I do not like. When someone comes in and assumes the title
Yes.
of a character, we've seen it with Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. We've seen it with all of them. It implies to me that there's something wrong with the main character. Like
Interesting.
You don't take Peter Parker out of Amazing Spider-Man because doing so admits to the reader we're lost. We don't know what to do.
So what about a situation like a Rhodey where there was a reason he basically went into the suit because Tony was going through
To
alcoholism.
fucking blitz
and
to
was helping
be
him.
productive.
And then he became his own character, right? Like they didn't keep him Iron Man, he became War
Right.
Machine. Like
Yeah,
does it change it for you?
Yes, it does because
Or what about like Sam
late-
Wilson was Sam Wilson for decades and then he became Captain America? Like, is that a problem or are you okay with that?
Again, it's lazy writing.
Now,
I don't agree with that,
a
but
counter
okay.
to
Steve
that.
Rogers
Yeah.
is Captain America.
Yes. Now,
But
Period.
there's a lot to be said that these characters, especially from DC, are about an ideal, and so it doesn't have to.
and that's exactly right. Which is so and with DC though, you also have so obviously Oliver Queen dies, so that's where Connor Hawke comes in, and then whereas with Green Lantern, you have a whole
or the Flash, right?
fleet
Like, isn't
of
Wally
space
your favorite
cops.
Flash, Vince?
Yes, well,
yes, and that's a hand me down.
Dude, there you go. Like
The best thing that Barry did was die.
but that okay.
But he's still not the
Anyway, I don't want to go down
Wally's-
this rabbit hole, but
yes, yeah, we'll table this for another time because I have
we've
I
had
can
this
go on.
conversation
So,
many
yeah.
times. Okay, up next, Justice League of America, Vince.
I don't.
I'm surprised you're not saying the Snyder Run. I feel like you just talked about how you loved it.
I did love it. Yeah.
Even the Morrison run.
In fact, then not too much. I would, if we're going recency, yes, I would say the Snyder Run for Justice League. So we'll go with that. I mean, Jaro, stop. That is a great character.
Fair enough. Yeah, I look at you going recent. Look at you going recent twice in the last three
Wow.
picks. Dap, what is your favorite?
Is it better than the Kree Squad? No, it's not.
You stupid.
Well, I mean,
Oh my
yeah, I'm
God.
with you there. But all right, Dap, what is yours?
All my stuff is pre New 52. There was the
Sure, that's
Meltzer and McDuffie stuff, which eventually, and then but even the JLA series that is kicked off by Morrison, that eventually included some fun issues by Kurt Busiek, and then and Johns was in there as well towards the end. So that's especially around the Identity and Infinite Crisis stuff. That's when Johns was working on it. So yeah, I'd go with that stuff.
So the Jeff Johns is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, are you saying all of it? Like, okay, all of Jeff Johns. Okay. All right. Well, I picked the same run, but earlier part I picked JLA, the original Grant Morrison Howard Porter run from 1997 to 2000.
Yeah.
Probably one of my oldest picks, but that was because it ended 26 years ago. But for me, that's like I thought about whether like Identity Crisis was a Justice League story, or any of those like
the Justice League are in it, but yeah.
I know, or Kingdom Come, which honestly, like, that probably is a Justice League story. In which case, that would be my pick. I didn't even think of it honestly when I was making this list.
JLA
Avengers. But if we're I guess I just don't think. I don't think of like I didn't really think like of like gimmick stories or like crossovers.
Same. Yeah, I wasn't including miniseries or anything.
So, no, I'm gonna stick with JLA. The Morrison play to me. It was Dap, I think one of the episodes when Vince was on, you and I were talking about, we were doing the one where we were doing the threes, and I defended the JLA. I think you picked it as your most overrated, and we were doing overrated, underrated, and I said it was underrated, and you said it's overrated. So I know where you stand on it, but I love it. I think it's great. So,
there were two great issues in Morrison's run, and that was when Prometheus took down the Watchtower.
Asshole, but fair enough. Okay, up next is Spider-Man, and I got to tell you, I was shocked at what a hard time I had with this.
This was easy.
Well, okay. But in the sense that it's no secret that collectively, it's been a long time since we have all adored Spider-Man, and in the early years of our show, it was much like Superman is. These days, like we couldn't go an episode or two without talking about Spider-Man. But again, I'm trying to be objective here. And I kind of did what you were saying, Dap. Like, I kind of cleared my mind and thought, when's the last time I was actively reading Spider-Man excitedly? Because I'm enjoying the new run. Like, I think it's good. I don't think it's great. It hasn't, but I think it's good. Like, I'm enjoying it. So I don't want to say like, but I thought, when's the last time I thought, no, this is really good? And I know and it was not to say I didn't have some things about this run that I thought were worthy of being made fun of. But I think again, the passage of time. When I look back on it, and again, from my own sort of litmus test of would I hand this off to someone and say this is a great example of this character. If you read this and enjoy it, maybe you're gonna like the character. So I went with Superior Spider-Man by Dan Slott and Stegman and Humberto Ramos and stuff, and that ran from 2013 to 2014. And again, it's kind of funny because it's not really Peter Parker. It's Doc Ock, inside the body of Peter Parker. So I would be fine if either of you were like, well, that doesn't really count. But that's because then before that I have to kind of go back to the Brain Trust, to the right, like then I have to kind of because we were all loving that and we talked about it. And so that if you don't think Superior Spider-Man counts because it's not Peter Parker, then I'd say the Brain Trust era.
I say Superior counts.
Okay, well then that's my pick. What's yours?
My pick is the Slott run pre-Secret Wars. So that whole the big time 500 through 600 leading into Superior Spider-Man, everything that he was weaving through.
Post Brain Trust.
Yes.
Once it was just Slott. Okay.
It was just Slott. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. That's a really good run too. I kind of thought of that as the Brain Trust era too, but I forgot that he just took it over.
Yep.
That's okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, because in terms of if it's Peter Parker, I think that's right. Yeah.
The Branches issues are really good.
They really are.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go back.
You're like
Ross Andrew, baby.
No, I have to go back further.
Holy shit!
No. Again, it's not the greatest. It's the last time it was great.
The last time Amazing Spider-Man was truly great was Jerry Conway.
Oh my God. I love you so much. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Gwen Stacy,
Holy
the
shit.
Bridge, the Green Goblin, the Grizzly, Punisher, Jackal. It's fucking incredible.
Of course it is. Yes, but again, I just think you've set the bar too high. But fair enough. Like again, you do you.
Yeah, the Jerry Conway run is friggin' perfect. run.
Yes, but
In fact, it is my Amazing Spider-Man. I love what Steve Ditko did with the character. I love a lot Spider-Man, but truly great, Jerry Conway.
okay, and for the record, listeners, that ended in 1974.
That ended before many of you were born who were listening
Yes,
to this.
most of you. Well, not most. I guess we have a lot of old heads, but yes, and it ended 3 months after I was born. Just so.
Plus Andrew, Mike Esposito, shut
no one's
up.
arguing that it's not a great run. No one can
It
argue that it's not
is
a great run.
the run. If
Again,
I hand you,
the question isn't is it the great? Again, you keep going to what you think the greatest run is. That is not the.
it hasn't been as good as the Jerry Conway run.
But that's not the exercise. It isn't it's not. You keep going back to what is your greatest or favorite. The exercise is when's the last time it was great, not when was it the greatest.
The last time it was great, Jerry Conway.
Fair enough. There we go.
I mean, at least he didn't say, Peter Parker, CEO, Captain of Industry. Thank God. I'm fine.
Oh,
well, of
God,
course he didn't
no.
say that. I mean, come on, don't be nonsensical. All right.
Like this.
Well, I can already pretty much. I know your answer, but go ahead and tell us what the last great Superman run was.
1, 2.
You like
3,
Action Comics #1?
Triangle Era.
No. I think the death of Superman is perfect comics.
Now that's surprising to me. I would have thought you would have. Okay.
Oh no! For him. It's definitely, if it wasn't the entirety of the Triangle Era, it was definitely something from that time.
Well, I
knew it
want to
wouldn't be older
say
than
the
that.
entirety of the Triangle Era, but
You can say the Triangle Area. I'd prefer you to say that. So, so yes. Okay.
okay, I will say that. But it begins with the death of Superman.
All right.
Yeah, amazing, just spectacular comics.
All right.
It is good. It is very good. It would have been my pick, except I thought Peter Tomasi did a fantastic run, especially with young John Kent. It had some great art, whether it was Patrick Gleason or Godlewski, or there was some great art on that run. Unfortunately, yes, it did end way too early because DC hired Bendis, but that was. And I'm enjoying the Williamson stuff now. I'm enjoying, what Wade's doing on World's Finest. But no, I mean, as far as the last time, I was so happy, and Superman was Tomasi.
I really did guess you were. That was my guess for your pick. I wasn't sure if you were going to go like even more recent because you love Superman. So I thought maybe you might lower the bar versus like because a lot of Superman comics warm your heart. But I was like, well, if he's following the criteria, I think he's going to. I went back a little further. Now, admittedly, my first reaction was to say All-Star Superman, but this run came after that, and it's the last run that I remember buying pretty much from start to finish and genuinely and like very much enjoying the whole thing. And that is the Action Comics / Secret Origin run by Jeff Johns, which was 2006 to 2010.
He had a Gary Frank, nice.
Which came before the Rebirth era, but the Gary Frank stuff, the Legion stuff, the Brainiac story. I remember loving all that. If I'm not mistaken, actually, they brought the triangle numbering back for that. That was to pay homage to the Triangle era. I really just thought that was a great run, and I'll just for the record, that is now the second time I have cited a Jeff Johns DC comic so far, and it will not be the last.
Poor show.
I hate to send you a compliment, but there's one writer in particular that I was really on the fence, including, but when you take a step back and you look at it, it's like they wrote a lot of incredible comics. Incredibly good.
You talking about Jeff Johns?
No, I'm not.
Oh, Hickman?
We'll get there.
Okay. All right, so I am up with Teen Titans. Another interesting thing because, I mean, I think like when Teen Titans gets mentioned, it's almost like like a reflex that people say Wolfman Perez, right? Which again, like we're not talking greatest because I think that pretty much would be like most people's pick, at least people our age. And that's a great run, absolutely. Stands test of time. But for me, and this is another one where it's like part of this is like when you first experience these characters, and it's no secret to you guys, but again, for some of our maybe don't have great memories, this book I'm about to mention was really legitimately the gateway drug for me to become a DC fan. I bought pretty much all the trades of it at Midtown Comics. And kind of that rest is history. Like that really did start me reading like just as much DC old and new I could get my hands on. And that was Teen Titans Volume 3, aka the Jeff Johns era. 2003 through 2007 for the years in particular. I remember pretty much every arc of that like it was yesterday. Loved his characterizations. He had, obviously many of the classic characters that are sort of synonymous with Teen Titans in all forms and all media. And then he had other new members that he brought into the mix. But, Johns has always been great at character development. I think that's why he does so well on team books. And I adore those books. And in fact, making this list made me want to, I want to go back this year and reread it, some of it. Because I'm like, man, I wonder how I'm going to feel about it 20 years later. But yeah, so for me, it's Teen Titans Volume 3, aka the Jeff Johns era.
Nice.
No, yeah, it's the same. I was because McCone was drawing that at the start. I was excited about the new Teen Titans book. You had Wally's Kid Flash. You had Connor as Superboy. There, it was. I liked what Johns was doing. You had Cyborg and Starfire and Raven there to kind of like be the tutors, the mentors, and which was a nice touch. And yeah, I mean, so Marvin George walk, so Jeff and Mike could run, and I'm absolutely fine with the passing of the baton that way. And I too went with the Johns McCone run.
Oh my man! All right, respect, excellent. Now Vince, tell us why it's Wolfman Perez.
It is Wolfman.
It's Arnold Drake. It's Arnold Drake, baby.
It's just the Judas contract. I can't.
You squeak it.
Holy shit! I'm dying over here.
I got him. I fucking got him.
He got me. Holy shit! Dude, he said Arnold Drake. Oh my god! All right, I'm back. I'm good. Whew. Okay, but yes, I mean, again, no one's going to argue. Like
His contract, yeah.
1984 for the record.
That's the last time it truly was great.
We're up. I will admit, it's been a long time since Teen Titans. Great, it's been a really long time.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's
they've tried.
In fact, for as hot as DC is, like DC's hotter than the fish grease right now. Their team books have been for a long time. Like they haven't gotten a team book right like consistently in a long ass time. But anyway, all right, Vince. I honestly I legit don't know what you're going to pick on, so I'm excited. The Avengers.
It's tough. It's extremely difficult to pick an Avengers run that's really, really, really great.
Well, you could just say the Bendis run. I know that's your favorite.
No, it's not. It's towards the bottom, actually. I want to say Kree Squad War, but the Avengers have been around forever.
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't know. I will say it will date me, but I'll anything by Roy Thomas, that's a given. Roy Thomas has to be the writer of it. And did Roy get any better than the Kree Skull War? Doubtful. So
Yeah, I mean, Roy the Boy was I mean, now I love the Avengers, so like it's kind of like my Superman adapt. Like I think many legitimately great, but but again, my bar is lower on that than others. So, but the Roy Thomas era ended 1972, so pre Woodrow,
Mm.
pre DAP too. DAP, are you 72 or 73?
72.
Yeah. So all right. So the DAP is so your Roy. The last great Avengers run was when DAP was a baby. What's your pick, DAP?
While I did really enjoy No Surrender and No Road Home, the last time I was really enjoying the Avengers was when Hickman was writing it.
Yeah. You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, I really wanted to make a case for No Surrender, No Road Home, which, for those listening at home that don't know that was it was a co-written by Al Ewing, Mark Waid, and Jim Zub, and it was two separate miniseries events, little miniseries that one came out in 2018, one came out in 2019. Actually, an Omniboo just came out of it. I reread it a couple weeks ago when it came out. It's great. I really do like it. It's very good. So it's really good. It's really good.
Solid.
But yeah, so it almost was my pick because it would have certainly been decent. But I'm with you. I think for me, Hickman's Avengers, which was both Avengers and New Avengers, which ran from 2012 to 2015, is to me legitimately great. Huge ideas. We got Infinity out of it. We got Secret War. I think it
Immortal
was
Hulk.
really
Oh
awesome
no,
stuff.
no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I think that's so. Yes, I was on the fence about whether I should give the nod to the Surrender, No Road Home stuff, but I just didn't quite make it. So ergo, it would have to be Hickman for me. Okay, so the next one up is The Flash. Now let me just say, I should almost abstain from this one. I have read almost no Flash individual comics, so I don't really feel qualified to even. I think the consensus here would be Jeff Johns' Flash run, which was volumes 2 and 3, which ran from all the way went from 2000 to 2011. So I mean, not only, and I'm sure within that there were parts that people thought were like genuinely great and parts that were just good. So I just don't know enough about the Flash as an individual character to really opine. So I'm just going to abstain on this one.
So there were 3 characters or 3 titles that led me to have to check out a third-party site to find out the different volumes and to see who wrote what, when, and everything like that. And The Flash was one of them. Because I was buying it in the early to mid 80s before Crisis, and that was Carrie Bates and with Carmine on art. And then of course there's the Wade stuff during the second volume with the Wally West era. And apparently Joshua Williamson, who I'm adoring on Superman and pretty much everything else he's touching these days, he had a really long run, like volume 5 or something like that. So I gotta, my next mission now is to look for those trades because I want to read Williamson's Flash. But because I wasn't buying Flash as often as I was way back when, it's a toss up either between Bates killing or writing the end of Barry's run, or I'll just say the run that kicked off with Barron, and then you also had Mesner Loebs on that, and eventually Wade and Miller Morrison. So yeah, it's weird. It's everything is before.
So are you not a fan of Johns' Flash run?
I haven't read much of it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I know that. I mean, it's a beloved run, and it was really, but I speak to it because I just don't know it though, so I can't.
I did read Rebirth, and again, that's also Van Sciver art. But yeah, that's so I read that.
Well, sure, but again, yeah, fine. I mean, well, no, I mean that I'm like obviously he had a 12-year run, so I don't know that like Rebirth and it's like it's but that's fine. Vince, where do you stand on Flash? Because I don't think any of us have ever really well, at least not in the last. none of us have been rapid Flash readers
Right.
in our time together.
It's no secret. I think Absolute Flash is really good.
That's okay.
Where it's Lemire, and company. Is it great? I think it's too early to tell, but I will return to read the next issue in the chain. So if we're going recent, I think it would have to be Lemire and Absolute Flush. But it's almost silly to me not to pick Mark Waid's run
I figured that's what
as
you would have picked.
that's what I want to pick. But Jason has these ideas where
Meaning the whole point of the conversation.
yeah,
There you
I,
might be.
I
Well, I
think
mean, Wade's run was
I-
right before Johns' run. It was 1996 to 2000.
right. I think Wade's run is perfect.
Okay, well there you go.
Where he focuses on Wally, right? But he also includes Impulse and Max Mercury
Right.
and all of the Speed Force, and
Right,
it's
he
just
created the Speed Force
incredible run. So if we're going, what was the last time I think Flash was truly great? It's got to have Mark Wade.
That's fair. No, that was on my list of again. I can't make a case for or against any particular run, but I think the consensus sort of views on this would be Wade's Flash run, Johns' Flash run are the two I think it would be in contention for most people. I would think so.
Yeah,
That's
I'm going to go with Mark Wade,
all right.
and that's a name I picked when I take a step back and I look at this list and I think, Jesus, Mark Wade's written a lot of great comics.
He has. He has.
Like,
He's in the run for a lot of these. I mean, I didn't pick him. I think I'm trying to look if I picked him in. I don't think I picked him in anything. No, he wasn't my pick for any of them. But he was certainly in the hunt. So yeah, I agree. He's an all timer. Now the next up is the Hulk. I presume we all have the same pick for this, but
Yeah.
Vince, you keep surprising me, so I'll let you tell us what your pick is. We'll see if we're all agree.
Greg Pak's Plant Hulk.
You are surprising me. Okay.
I think it's the standout, great Hulk run. It fulfills all
It's where you coined the term Wonder Folk.
yeah. It achieves your recency bias. I think they're great comics where it transcended good and jumped into great.
I absolutely agree with you that Planet Hulk is great, but wasn't my pick because there was something that came after it. But go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, Planet Hulk is really really good.
2006, by the way, for Planet Hulk for those playing at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just threw Ewing's name up there on my list.
Yeah, Immortal Hulk, right? I can't
Yeah.
believe you didn't pick Immortal Hulk, Vince. I'm like legitimately shocked. You love that fucking run.
I think it's great. It's good. I shouldn't use that word.
I was going to say then it's your pick.
I think it's really good, but there's something about Planet Hulk where
Yeah, I mean, I agree that Planet Hulk is great, and again, if it came out, if it was the most recent thing to come out, it would be my pick. But for me, I think Immortal Hulk is I think there've been because Planet Hulk wasn't a long run. I think there are two all-time great Hulk runs: Peter David's and Al Ewing's, and I think that Immortal Hulk was a truly in like without any qualifiers, truly great comic from start to finish.
it's crazy because if you go by the Kirby definition of the Hulk. It's just a bastardization of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
Sure. Sure.
where the Hulk works best when the Hulk is removed from the status quo and injected into something totally different, where you have the Pantheon Hulk, which is, of course, the Peter David run. You have the Grey Hulk, again, Peter David, Planet Hulk, Immortal Hulk, which he's separate from the Marvel Universe in a way that is new and different.
Sure.
It's hard for me not to pick Immortal Hulk, but I think for my money, Planet Hulk is perfect.
It is great. Yeah, I mean, again, I do not have any, like, none of your picks have I had any, like, disagreement that they are all-time great runs. I guess I just disagree that some of them are the most recent, but again, Planet Hulk would have been my number 2 pick just in chronology because it came out before Immortal Hulk, but it's also great. Up next is the X-Men. To no surprise to anyone, I think objectively you cannot be, if you're following the rules here, of the most recent, it has to be House of X Powers of 10. There is no other answer. I refuse to accept any answer in this one because it is great by all definitions. It's the most recent. Again, we could debate. Like, to me, there are 3 truly great eras of X-Men. Obviously, the Claremont Byrne, Morrison, and now this. If you want to extend House of X Powers of 10 into like the entire Hickman Krakoa era, I'm down. That's fine. I'm down for that. But just those 2 series, and again, if we talk about like great, I mean, these were books that got you 2 interested to read every issue and talk about it. These were issues that got a lot of our listeners that aren't generally X-Men marks to talk about it, and it got a lot of fucking people back reading X-Men books for the first time in years, if not decades.
Yeah.
And then obviously nothing that's happened since, like, it's pretty much driven everybody away. So so I mean, to me, that's, again, I will be gobsmacked if you guys don't agree with me on this, because I know you both thought it was great, and I know nothing that's happened since has been better. But please tell me if you're gonna baffle me.
No, that's it.
Are you,
It's Hoxpox.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
okay.
I have to agree.
All right, good.
To think that Claremont could be glimpsed is...
No, again, he's not being eclipsed. He's not being eclipsed.
Listen to me. In greatness, to think that... Because if you lay out all of the issues of the Claremont run, and you think Days of Future Past, okay, I have a winner. Hoxpox is better than Days of Future Past.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, that's a discussion for another time. I don't know if I can go. I will say that what's interesting about the Claremont run, and again, that's just a terror. This is an issue of when it came out. I think if you were to like say to it like I don't know, if my 17-year-old son said to me, "Dad, I want to read X. What should I read?" It would be hard. I would bet if I gave him the Claremont Byrne, Omniboo, the first one, it would probably make him not an X-Men fan, right? Because, like, it was of its time, right? Like, the exposition, all of it, like, would feel so dated to him, he would be like, this is corny. Which is where it's always kind of hard to, like, separate age and era from this stuff. Whereas, like, I could give him House of X Powers of 10 and he would fucking adore it. So it's like, I'm with you in what you're saying, but I think it's also a point of, like, when it came out, and I think we have to, like, contextualize things for when, like, what era they are. It's like with film, right? Like, you can't judge Casablanca, in the vein of, like, a film from 2026, right? Like the way people make movies, the types of things that people like to see in films, it's just different, right? Like it's like each one, like you can have a great film now and a great film then, and judged on different criteria. So I think the same thing with those. But yes, I would agree with you. So I didn't expect you to actually say that you think that this Hickman stuff was on par, if not better. But it's an interesting conversation. Either way, I think it's truly great X comics, and it'd probably be a fucking 20 years before we get around. So
20 years.
Yeah,
And more than that.
We got three more to run through. Vince, you are up with Thor.
I don't think there's a great Thor to run.
Wow, that is incendiary. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's
wild.
The last time I remember being excited, Kirby was on the book.
Wait. So, wait. Okay. Putting aside the pick that I'm going to make, which you can debate, you don't think the fucking Walt Simonson Thor run was great?
Oh, I think it was really good. Yeah. But I think Jack tapped into the Norse mythology in a way that Simonson didn't. I think the Simonson run is, if we're going recently, yeah, it's Simonson, but the journey into mystery stuff is legit really, 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 really great. And that happened like 50 years ago.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't even. I personally wouldn't even. Like, I think Thor was a corny ass character until Walt Simonson took him over.
I agree. I agree.
But then, well, you don't, because you just said it was fucking. You just pure saying
that it was fire.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay,
I'm saying Simonson. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Good. This is a hell of a way to find out this late in the episode that this is the final.
The three of us. Don't jump on. I was have to defenestrate myself here in a minute.
So much for a throuple.
Right.
Yeah. If it's anything more recent than Simonson, I'd have to give it to Jason Aaron. I mean, that's correct. However many
that is the right answer.
Trade paperbacks I have behind me of his run, it's from start to finish, everything. The Ribic art, the Dowderman. No, it's Jason Aaron.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, I don't know that I would say Jason Aaron. I like it better than Simonson, but the Jason Aaron Thor run
is more recent.
Great.
So
yeah, legitimately great. All right, two more, and this one. Listen, this is one of those things where it's like one of my all-time favorite characters. Like, I love this character fucking so much, but Wolverine, like very much a character better suited. Listen, that's not even. I was going to say better suited in a team. That's not even really true. There have been some incredible Wolverine stories, like on their own. Not the least of which, obviously, the Frank Miller miniseries. There have been runs featuring the character as a solo character, which have been awesome. Marvel Comics present, like the Barry was, but like so he has these sort of tentpole moments. But like in trying to think of again the most recent, I had to go pretty far back. But I went back to 2008. Wolverine, titular Wolverine, Volume 3, and it was the Old Man Logan run, which people forget now because it's been repackaged so many ways. Like a lot of people, I think, just think Old Man Logan was like a its own series. It was not. It was part of Wolverine. Mm-hmm. Mark Miller took over the series. Steve McNiven drew it. I believe it was 8 or 10 issues inside of Wolverine the comic. I genuinely love that. Now, again, you guys know I love post-apocalyptic stories. That is a story about a post-apocalyptic Marvel World 616. Where Logan and a bunch of other characters are old and busted and sort of hanging on. I love that. I love that run legitimately, like fully unapologetically love that run. And so that's my pick. But I don't know that that would be I don't know that pick is going to be above the board for like a lot of people. But I've read probably, I don't know, I'm probably going to get depressed when I think about how many Wolverine single issues there have been. But I've read I don't know, I want to say I've read all of them, but I've read at least 90% of all Wolverine titled. And so, again, I feel like I'm not coming at this like I would be with Flash, where I don't have an opinion. But That being said, I think like 650 of them have been pretty average to bad.
Yeah.
Like, so it's rare when there's like a great Wolverine story that isn't like him being an X-Man, but like, but yeah, I think for me, Old Man Logan just crosses the bar for what I think is great, and I would be happy to hand that off to someone to be like, read this.
Yeah.
But I understand if like that's not your guys' pick, because that's a deeper cut for sure.
I mean, well, my pick it's from. I mean that volume was kicked off by Rucka, so he was on my list for a second, and then that's also the series that gave us Enemy of the State, which of course again is Miller.
That's true too.
And the Straczynski issues from Civil War, where Wolverine took on Nitro, hunted down and fought Nitro. So yeah, and I think even Jason Aaron had some issues in that run. So yeah, I don't want to go all the way back to Larry Hama with the LCD and Albert stuff, but yeah, I'll go with that Miller run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he's wrong.
Okay.
So I would pick Old Man Logan.
Nice. I did not expect that. I thought that was gonna be one of those ones where people were like, no.
It's a lot of fun, and
It is.
it's totally great. If I had to pick before that, I would go with Weapon X.
That's really good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I would put that certainly over Old Man Logan in terms of like all time great, like no question.
Yeah,
Again, I think
you're
to
right.
me, I don't think Old Man Logan. If I were to rank, if we were like a top 10 Wolverine stories, I don't know that Old Man Logan would be. It wouldn't be my top 5. It would be maybe like at the bottom, like top 10. So I like, but again, it's the most recent of whatever my top 10 would be in my head. So
if we're going recency, yes, you're right.
All right, last character on the list, Wonder Woman, who again I would couch, and maybe this is going to piss some people off before Vince gives us an answer. I would couch that before the last bunch of years, when I think we actually have some candidates to discuss. This was a character, despite her being one of the most important characters, part of the Trinity, had rarely had a great run of her own title. And I would even say, and again, it's maybe going to make some people mad, I don't personally think the Perez run is great. Your mileage may and probably does vary. I don't think it was a great run. I think it was a very good run. I don't think it was great. But that being said, Vince, who was your pick for Wonder Woman? I know your all-time favorite character, by the way. So.
My all-time favorite Wonder Woman.
The most recent.
The most recent Wonder Woman story. Yeah. Is Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yes. I think this is a cheat one. Again, I started with Absolute Batman, which again is probably there's more argument there, but I think it's hard. If Absolute Wonder Woman is not the best Wonder Woman. I really do think. But I assume, Dap, that's why you had to correct yourself early when we started talking about Batman as well, because you realized you picked Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah. It's after Perez. I mean, you've had Azzarello, you've had Rucka, you've had Simone, but nothing's made me want to look forward to a Wonder Woman book since the Perez days until Kelly. So yeah, it's Kelly and Hayden on Absolute.
And to be fair, I think Tom, like if Absolute Wonder Woman wasn't coming out, like Tom King's Wonder Woman is legit great. Like it really is. It just happens to be coming out at the same time when Absolute Wonder Woman is coming out, which is in publishing history. And I know, shout out to our boy Brian Newbury, he's screaming. I think I think Wonder Woman Historia is also a fantastic run, but it came out before Absolute Wonder Woman, so that's why I wouldn't. But like that does. So it's strange. Like in the last 7-8 years, we've had a few like truly excellent to great Wonder Woman runs, which is weird because we went like 50 years without
30-year dry spell.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Actually, here's a bonus just off the top of your head, real quick. Punisher.
Well, you're reading my mind. I have 9 other characters that were not on the list So I didn't want to just like, but Punisher is one of them. So for me, this is not my dome because I actually have. For me, Punisher, last great, most recent great was Garth's Punisher Max stuff in all of its forms.
Yeah, I I so want to say the Ruckus stuff with Chichetto because I really
Sure.
enjoyed that run. It was
Which is the spiritual successor to Garth stuff.
More, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's what Garth and Steve did for the character with the character and why he's so popular these days. I feel it. I got to go with Garth.
And again, these weren't on a list, Vince, so if you don't have an answer, that's fine. But
No, I do. I would also go with Garth.
Yeah. All right. And then I had again, it's like Aquaman. It's like, but honestly, I think like there's the Peter David run, which again I think is uneven. I think if you recall, like a year or two ago, I read most of it for the first time, and I thought some of it was like really good. Some of it was I thought like actually legit bad. So I think the John's Yvonne Heiss run is very great. I don't know if I could go great, but it's been like a decade since I read it, so I do remember it fondly though. But I don't know if there's been a like truly great Aquaman run. I don't know if there has been. I don't know.
What Will and Sub Diego? I thought the conversation starts and ends there. Yeah, you're right. It's Aquaman's a tough one.
Now, one that like I should have probably
wait.
Go ahead.
Sword of Aquaman.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, that would probably be the pick if there was one to be made. Yeah. I think that's the fairest answer. Yeah. Now, one that should have been on the list and I just forgot was Daredevil, because that's kind of been like the writer, like that's like the writer's Marvel comic, right? Like I feel like it's almost like a christening. Like a lot of people have had runs that get heralded, and it kind of vaults them into being like big deals at Marvel. Probably the place where, because Bendis wasn't on any of our lists anywhere. It's a place where he probably does belong in the. But shortly after Bendis's run, which was amazing, came Wade Somney. And so I got to give it to Wade Somney, which was 10 years ago now, just 2014, 2015. But Wade Somney, remember it like it was yesterday, especially the visuals. Awesome stuff. So that would have been my pick. But there's been a lot of great, obviously, again, acknowledging nothing can or ever will compare to, Frank. But there've been many really, really like excellent runs of Daredevil.
Yeah. After Frank, after Bendis, I would, I'd have to give it to Wade and Somney also.
Yeah. I assume you agree, Vince.
No.
He's going to say Brubaker after Bendis.
You like it begins and ends with Miller?
It begins and ends with Born Again. Yeah.
I mean, that's okay.
I think that's the best thing to come out of Marvel. Like, almost ever.
Yeah, sure. I had Deadpool on the list, but then it's like it's fucking Deadpool, and like the answer is Joe Kelly, and nothing that's happened since hasn't been as good.
I'll take it.
And that was 27. That was 27 years ago, so it's like, nah, I can't. I had Doctor Strange on here, but again, like, I mean, like I love the character, and we read like I think I've read like every run, but like is the Aaron Bacallo run great? I don't know. It was good. I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. But was it great? Like, is there like? I don't know.
There are moments of greatness. Yeah.
But it's like, like I love the character, and like I even fucking love the Strange Tales like stuff. Like, but it's like, yeah, I can't think of like an arc where I'd be like, oh, it's just the fucking shit. Like that's it right there. But maybe like
the
I don't know.
By Vaughn and Martin. But that's how old is that?
But even it was a cool miniseries.
Even the oath is not. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
It just goes back to too often for me. Where they don't know what to do with the character.
That's the same thing with Deadpool. That nobody wants to fucking because Joe Kelly's run was so fun and it was so different with the fourth wall and stuff. Like everyone just does the same fucking thing. It's like, and they can't help themselves. It's like certain characters just have a certain like trope to them. It's like you were saying with Scotty with Lobo. It's like every Lobo comic's been the same because it's just like they're kind of like one note characters and they're fun and all, but like it's hard to like reinvent them or like do something truly distinctive with them because they're kind of just like what they are.
Yeah, I think hard is underselling it. It's incredibly difficult to do something truly different with like a Deathstroke or a Wolverine. Like, how do you change it, make it significantly different, but stay true?
Your same thing. That's why I think the NS was so distinct. And you're right. I mean, the Aaron, because it's so hard to do. I mean, you can't even do Punisher because of the right. Like it's like it feels icky. But I'm saying like it's like these characters are like there's like just a through line to what they are, and it's hard to evolve them. You know, I didn't have it on the list, but again, like to me, it's a pretty easy answer. Like Nightwing to Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo run is incredible. It's like all time great. I don't. There's nothing else that I don't think there's ever been or will be. There was no. I don't think. I think that is the best Nightwing run that's ever existed and will ever exist. And is recent. Just ended in 2025, so pretty recent. I had JSA Justice Society on there. It's been a minute. I would argue it's the Johns run. Probably the run that put Johns on the map at the big. Which ended in 2009, so 17 years ago. But we haven't had a ton of JSA Justice Society comics since. So I didn't know if it like really counted to be put on the list. Like it's not like an evergreen that's always being put out. Like most of the ones, all the characters we did in the main list, like there are comics on the stands with those characters every month, always, even if they don't sell. You know, there's always a Green Arrow comic. There's always a Wonder. There's always a Hulk comic. I don't know that there's always a JSA comic. So,
all right, my question to you. Looking at your list, and your list of add-ons, what is the greatest character to come out of Marvel? The one with the most great comics.
Oh, interesting.
Based on the character,
right? Oh, that's interesting. Man, that's really hard. I mean, because like,
it's difficult.
I mean, for me, it's putting aside my recent, like now decade-long pain with the characters because they have is the Avengers. I mean, like I love the Avengers forms from the original to to Roy to Stern to to like Englehart. Like I just like pretty much there's something about every era of the Avengers that so that'd probably be like my personal answer, but like if I'm making like an intellectually objective choice, it probably would be I mean it'd either have to be X-Men or Fantastic Four. I mean, I care more about the X-Men, but like it's hard to separate X-Men from all the other X-Men adjacent comics that also intertwine, like in the way I think about that. Whereas like FF's kind of always been just like the FF, right? Like, sure they've been involved in like all the major event stuff, but like there haven't ever been like 10 FF comics at once, right? Like there are with Mutants or Spider-Man. Like it's just an FF comic. It's either great, either love it or you don't read. You know what I mean? Like it's and there's kind of a purity to that, which I do like. I don't know. What would you say? I mean, what would you say?
My answer's a lame, of course, and silly, but I think it's true. Superman.
Well, you asked me Marvel.
You said Marvel.
No, big two.
Well, you said Marvel.
You did say Marvel, which is what,
yeah, you did say Marvel. Big two. Oh, then I'd say, yeah. I mean, I think I'd stay by my answer, but like, you could probably argue that like there, and I think you even made the point in the beginning. Like, there have probably been like more very good to great Batman runs or stories than like anything else because like everybody wants to write Batman, right? Like almost every like superhero writer and artist has always wanted to have a Batman run, right? Like, it wouldn't be my pick just because I don't have the nostalgic history with the character in the way that many others do. But like, if I'm like, if I was like going back, like, if I was trying to like segment out all the things that are like, I guess Batman would be my instinctive pick. I don't know, but like, wouldn't be my pick though.
Um,
Yeah, I guess
what do
I'd
you
have
think?
to go. I'd Yeah, I mean, I think about a lot of the Batman stories, whether it's, Lonely Place of Dying, Death in the Family, Year One, Year Two, Full Circle. I mean, there've been, and that's just, but yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards.
Wouldn't you say Superman though?
I
Wouldn't
would,
you?
yeah,
Like, because
that's what I'm leaning
yeah,
towards.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Superman. Yep.
I mean, for Marvel, it's weird because I'm tempted, as Vince already alluded to, that it's probably Marvel's greatest solo evergreen story. I would compare almost any Marvel story to Born Again, and it's odd because it's not like Daredevil's had a ton of fantastic arcs or single issues or stories, but I absolutely love Born Again. But
The thing,
go ahead.
go ahead. No,
No,
I was going to say the thing I think about
do it.
Daredevil. What's interesting to me about Daredevil is that I think there have actually been a lot of great Daredevil runs. But what's I think fascinating about that character is most of the great runs are basically the same story, just done over again. Like, which says to you how great the character is because it's not like Bendis and Brubaker and Zdarsky and I guess I didn't read it, but like Soul, everyone loves the Soul run. Like they're all basically the same run. Like the character is who the character is.
Yeah.
And so a lot of different deft writing hands have made really great runs out of that character. So it does speak to the character's inner, just like the strength. And again, that does ultimately go back to the character being defined by Frank because all of these versions of Daredevil are the Frank version. Like,
Yep.
and there were lots of Daredevil comics, decades of Daredevil comics came out before Frank took it over, and that really speaks to the like longevity, right? Because like
And then,
you could say the same thing with Frank Miller with Batman, but like there are lots of different versions of Batman, right? Like there's Batman the detective, Batman the superhero, Batman the brooding guy, like Batman the play, and many of the really good to great Batman over since TKR and then with Year One. Are very different versions of Batman and Bruce. Like it's different takes, but I think every take that's considered great with Daredevil is the Frank Daredevil. It is that character. So yeah.
There's it's amazing how much mileage that Frank got out of guilt.
Yeah, absolutely. Catholic guilt. It's Catholic guilt personified. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even one of the reasons the TV show has worked, at least for me, so well, is because it's Frank's Daredevil. Like it's a fucking television embodiment of fucking Frank's Daredevil. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, Charlie Cox is great because he embodies that character. It's a
I
really
think-
interesting thing because Daredevil has never been like the tentpole Marvel character. He's never been a top seller. He's never been like the face of the company. But he is one of those characters that it seems like good writers get their hands on him and they can make a great run. It's interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting.
I agree. I think there's something about Matt Murdock that breaks
And
out.
it's funny too, right? Because he's just a dude. Like, I mean, I know he's got like quasi superpowers because of his blindness, but he's just a dude. He's like just a fucking dude.
He's a dude that makes bad decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that it speaks to the average human who makes bad decisions as well.
Yeah.
He can't. Yes, he can swing from building to building, but his love life's a mess. A mess. his Rogues Gallery stinks.
Yep.
He's
Like
got a
he
lot from other
shouldn't.
characters.
He shouldn't be, but he is far the best that Marvel has gotten
It's true.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say before we move on from this conversation in total, I want to shout out two creators specifically as I was doing through this exercise. Certainly Hickman, again, I think a case can be made. I'm not saying it is the answer, but I'm saying a case can be made that per this exercise of like the most recent great run, you can make the case that Hickman has the most recent great run of Fantastic Four, the most recent great run of Avengers, and the most recent great run of X-Men. And that is, and again, even if you're not like fully on board with any of those three, like he's certainly in the conversation, and that is fucking crazy because like we're talking about like 20 years now since a lot of that's happened, and like a lot of other people have fucking taken their hands in there and like and dude, you know, so it's like kudos to him because other than Stan and Jack, there really aren't many creators in history like what we would consider very good to great runs on all three of those titles. Like it just didn't happen, right? So he deserves a shout out because I was like, God damn, like there was a time when Hickman was fucking getting it done. But then even more than that, dude, I gotta fucking tip my cap to Jeff. Because again, you could debate whether or not like you think the answer is John's with these things, but he has a very credible argument to have the most recent great runs on Green Lantern, on Superman / Action Comics, on Teen Titans, on Flash, on Aquaman, and any others? No, but like that's all. Pretty much the DCU. That's fucking crazy. Oh, and Justice Society. Yeah. So like that is insane, dude. And again, like that may not be your pick, like he may not be your pick for any of those. But like the fact that he is legit in the hunt for all of those is ridiculous. Like he has really like it really codified for me. He is the face of modern DC comic storytelling. Like and even more than Mark Waid, because again, Waid maybe came right before him and had an equally great like resume. Like if you roll back 5-10 years before that, but like props to fucking Jeff Johns, man. Jesus Christ, like that dude. Again, he was one of my gateway creators, so I knew he was. But like going through this, I was like, Jesus, man, like guy was just incredible for like 15 years. He was just incredible. So. Yeah. The average, just so based on, and again, I've some of the years totals. For me, the average time for DC from the last great run was 12.9 years. The average time for Marvel since the last great run was 16.5 years. So that's a fucking long time, dude. It's a long time. We could really use really use some great runs. That's fucking great. It's crazy because you think about how many hundreds of issues those times. That's a lot. It's a lot. Right. All right. Well, why don't we transition to you two telling everyone about Superman Spider-Man #1, because I know the people want to hear about it. I'm presuming you both read it and loved it.
I didn't read the entire book yet. I didn't finish the entire book. I read the main story, which I got a kick out of. I thought because for me it felt like that it gave me the vibes from the Battle of the Century, the story from ages ago, written by Jerry and penciled by Ross with an assist by Neil and a bunch of other folks. But I enjoyed that story. The second story I could have done without. What bums me out is that based on the Batman Daredevil one shot from last year, I had high hopes for the DC side of this crossover. So I thought the hit ratio would be higher. And after reading the first couple of stories, that doesn't seem to be the case. I respect the hell out of the creators involved, but the Sean Murphy story with Spidey 2099 and Superboy from the Legion era was not. It some of them just felt like some of the stories reminded me of a Saturday Night Live skit where it comes out hard and they don't know how to write themselves out of the skit, and the short story just kind of peters out or just falls flat. So I'm not going to talk on the entire book on the story. But the main story, the reason why people bought this one shot, I enjoyed it. I got a kick out of it. I thought Jorge's art was great. Wade was the perfect person to write it. I did not dislike the main story. I don't know how I'm going to feel about the Marvel version that's going to come out soon. But if that were the only story in the book, I'd be happy with it. But unfortunately, it's not. So I did not love the one shot as much as I was really, really hoping I would.
Did you enjoy it?
I thought, yeah. Let me back clean up. I thought it was better than I had hoped it would be.
Okay.
I didn't find fault with any of the supplemental stories. The main story is it touches upon nostalgia.
Yes.
I thought it was incredibly well drawn, incredibly well written. Tom did a fantastic job. Behind every great man is a greater woman. So even though it focused on Mary Jane as well as Lois, that I thought Jim Lee did a better than average. Yeah,
I've never been a fan of Jim Lee Spider-Man, but that's a me thing.
I thought again, Christopher Priest did what he's doing at Vampirella, with the black panel border, stuff. Super Prime doesn't bother me all that much. Spider-Man 2099 is a favorite character, even though Miguel is has a Matt Murdock syndrome, where he's wrong as much as he's right. I thought that to go down the list, Jimmy Olsen, Carnage, Ben Parker, Daily Planet, Daily Bugle. Who saw the Power Girl Punisher thing coming? Like, I got to that storyline thinking, oh my god, it's Power Girl, and he's hitting on her, and she's letting him. Like, what? It surprised me, and to look at it, that when was the last time that a mainstream book surprised you? It's hard to say. I thought it was extremely well done. I did not. I bought it in the single issue format, and I thought I got my $8 worth.
Good for you. Respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas, I can't say the same for other books, but I thought that this one was it's not good to say even Rucka, but Rucka was fine. Guess Wanted was fine. Lemire and Fraction and Sean Murphy, Christopher Priest. Well, good on the art, as well as I enjoyed it. Is the Marvel one gonna be as good? Probably not. But we'll see. But as far as looking at what I have in front of me right now, it's no secret that I think the original is one of the best Marvel's DC team up stories ever.
For sure.
That written by Jerry Conway. That I think that they could have lost face with this, but DC did not.
Well, now you got me
Well
excited
said.
about the. I'm looking forward to the last two stories in the book now.
Yeah, Power
glad
Girl.
you guys like it.
Seriously, to think when the last time I truly enjoyed Power Girl would be Infinite Crisis.
I mean, for me, the only Power Girl I've ever enjoyed was Palm. So,
Right.
Yeah.
which was after Infinite Crisis, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you certainly got a lot more out of it than. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Like
Good.
I'm
Well,
saying,
that was the point of it.
yeah, that exactly that's the entire point of something like this. Why would they bother printing it if they didn't use nostalgia as fulcrum
Sure.
for the stories? And as such, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm gonna order it in a single issue.
Respect.
Yeah.
I hope all our listeners got equal enjoyment out of it.
I hope so as well.
Yes. Yes. $8.
There's a point where I stopped. To be totally honest, I stopped reading your posts about it because there's only so many different ways to hint that you didn't enjoy something, but you read it because that you know that it would be brought up in conversation. It hurts my heart that you didn't enjoy it.
Well, I mean, as I said, I think it was a perfect. Again, I don't have anything bad to say per se. I just for me, it's just straight down the line, like superhero
Mediocre.
comic, like
Yeah,
not even mediocre. Just like I feel like, to your point, like you wouldn't like. There's no point in doing a comic like this other than to take the nostalgic tropes of each character and put them together. Like that's why else make the book? So it is exactly what it was supposed to be, and it was effectively executed from a story and art perspective. And but to your point, like I don't think I would have read this if I know that everybody wanted us to read it, right? Like I don't like because like again, I don't have anything bad to say about it, but it's exactly what I thought it was. It was. It's not the kind of thing that I'm into anymore, which is fine. Like that's
yeah.
you guys know. Yeah.
It kind of hurts.
Why?
A little bit because it does. Because
that's crazy. Why do you've never cared about whether like something relative to your own enjoyment? Like it's like we're not going to always enjoy the same things.
No, but the original.
And also remember, I'm not a Superman guy. Like I don't like Superman is not my guy. So it's like even that, like it's like I'm not the audience for this because I'm not nostalgic for Superman.
That's true.
Baffling.
But that's not new news to you. You've known that
No,
for 20 years.
And I thought
I know
there was and like you, Vince. Yes, I was feeling some kind of way about the posts, and part of me knowing
ridiculous.
but hear me out because I was because we're in the same chat room, so I know you didn't just post it to our to the patron Slack. You posted it elsewhere. So eventually I almost got to the point where I was just like, why do you hate fun? Like, why can't you? Because it's not just, but it's not just this particular comic book. It's also it's the other entertainment that we're all consuming right now. And I know, right? There seems to be whether it was the Super Bowl trailers and like it almost seemed like any reason you had to find a fault at something, like you would dig into it. And I'm just like, where's the Jason who knows to just let things go, let things be, and
ignore it.
I know you're looking for everything to be the greatest thing for you right now, and I appreciate that, and I know I look for things too, but there have been.
I mean, you're wrong there. It's not that at all. I'm not looking for things to be the greatest. I'm just tired of reading things that are just average.
No, and I get that. I absolutely get that,
and I feel like it's hard to pay any attention to Marvel and DC and not have that be the overwhelming experience. And that kind of gets back to the point of this whole discussion tonight of like, but you're hoping that the next one you read isn't going to be, oh, that was okay. You're hoping it's going to be like, oh shit, that was hot. And like, I am at a point in my life where it feels really dumb to do something where you're hoping like 1 out of 10 iterations of doing that thing ends up pleasing you. And so the answer is I shouldn't do it anymore. But like, it's hard to just be the guy that never wants to discuss or have any opinion on Marvel and DC doing a weekly comic book podcast.
Sure.
So it's
I agree with it, to a point.
Yeah, and so that's the issue. I mean, I'm always going to be genuine. It has been. I mean, I feel like I genuinely read superhero comics where I'm just sort of like not like mad at them. I'm not like these suck. But I'm just like, oh, okay, because I just feel like it's been done. Like it's just I'm like, yeah, and it's why I don't particularly love sitcoms or shows like on CBS that go on for 10 years. Like I could be into it for a while, and like my wife still watches Grey's Anatomy and loves it. I watched like 5 or 6 seasons of it and loved it, and then, okay, I get it, and I stopped, and I don't miss it. It's like, doesn't mean that Grey's still isn't great. Like, doesn't mean it's not like people that still love it are wrong to love it. It's just like, once I see The Matrix, it's like, I want to be excited and surprised and challenged by the things I read. I want to be like, even if it means it's like, and you're like this a lot, Vince. Like a lot of the stuff I read, from smaller indie publishers that like people maybe smirk at it, be like, oh, I'd never read that. Like, even if I don't think they're good, I'm often feel better about reading them because I'm at least challenged by it. I'm like, oh, like that was interesting. Like maybe I don't think they executed it perfect. Maybe they didn't stick the landing, but I'm like, I appreciate that they were trying to do something that we don't see all the time, and it's the same thing with film. Like I watch a shit ton of fucking movies that like, I'm like, oh, like Holden's always saying to me like, God, like, I feel like you watch a lot of movies and you're like, and I ask how they were and they're like, it wasn't that good. But I'm like, yeah, but like you're confusing my conclusion of the experience as being how I value the experience. Like I don't mind something being bad. I'd rather something be bad than it's just like there. And that's my issue with most superhero comics these days. Is I feel like, and again, it's not a fault of the comics. It's just a fact of I've been in consuming these things for so long, and you guys know I'm an analyst, so I'm always processing like the components of the things that I read and enjoy, and it's like it's pretty much impossible for me to read these things and just not see them as formulaic. And then it's like I have to judge it on whether I think they executed the formula well or not. But even that's rarely like exciting. It's like, oh yeah, that was a really good version of that thing I've read 100 times. It's not like, holy shit, I've never read that before. And that's just where we stand with it, So again, it's like I can either not read them or I can read them and then be like, yeah, it was okay. I don't know, but that's, and I don't know that I'll ever recapture, like, I don't know that there's never going to be a point again where I could read 50 superhero comics and think 40 of them are great. Like, that's never going to happen again. Like that's just, that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
So.
I think in their monthly output, they've gotten incredibly lazy.
Sure.
Where Marvel is lazier than DC.
Yeah.
I think Marvel is looking at their books and saying, well, this sold really well. And so did this and this and this. Point being, the X books, where I'll read them and I thought, I'll think to myself, they're just they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. They're looking at the books and they're cherry picking the stuff that sold really well, and they're writing new stories based on old stories that sold. Like She-Hulk is doing the Planet Hulk thing. Like, seriously? FF is doing the Malice storyline.
Yeah.
Again, like,
Yeah.
come on. Do you really have nothing to say? The Invisible Woman is going to be Malice again? Like, even if it's not, it's still Malice. So,
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like to your point. Like you can have Sue, just have something happen to Sue, maybe even make her evil again or something. Like does it have to be a match? It's like
Right.
like why is that like yeah no but you're encapsulating like the whole point, and that's actually why I think, and again I don't think I'm alone here. I don't think I don't think it's a coincidence that Absolute is literally reinvigorated the market like in a way that we haven't seen in 20 years because they're doing something that like a lot of these books either aren't trying or can't do, which is you're giving us these characters that we love and care for and have repped for decades, but you're actually changing them. Like you're actually making them different. Like versus like promising us that it's going to be a different take and it's ultimately the same thing. And it's like
Right.
and again, I don't know if they can we talked about this with Pornsack. Like I don't know if that can go on forever. Like there's a risk that they will, because of the success of these books, end up putting 30 of them out and it'll dilute it, and then once you dilute it it kind of all loses its luster, and we'll be like, remember when Absolutes were coming out and they were hot? Like that's probably gonna happen, right? Like 2 years from now, like Absolute Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman maybe won't be great anymore because either will be done or they'll have a different creative team. I'm saying
Right.
like it is inevitable, but like, goddamn, I love, and again, I'm not wrong. I don't think I'm alone here. That's like I love that they're like all like they're legit trying to be different for once, like actually different, not like oh it's a different universe, so like this character can die or oh this character power. No, it's like they're actually trying to like reinvent everything about the characters, other than like the very core symbology that like we all, and it's like, but I also understand that it's a big giant corporate machine, and they're never gonna do this. Like they're like my dream is that CB fucking retires and Brevoort retires and they literally just say fucking let's just start an entirely new Marvel universe from scratch. Like, like Heroes Reborn, but actually like done well, right? Like, but that's not gonna happen. Like I know that's not gonna happen, but that would be my fucking dream. And that's why like with Hoxpox, like Hickman actually like took so many things that we X-Men nerds held as canon, and rather than like dismiss them out of hand, he reinterpreted them in a way that we're like, oh, that's all makes sense, but it's new. It's like, but I also understand that he's a fucking genius. Like it's hard to do that. Like it's really hard to do that. It takes a lot.
It's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, so I get it. Like again, I'm not. That's why I'm not mad at this stuff.
Because
but am I frustrated that like that I think we've kind of collectively brainwashed ourselves into accepting mediocrity because that's just what we're used to. Yeah, that bums me out, man, because life's too short. Like there's so much greatness out there. Like in our Slack channel, I there's the whole book, there's a whole book club, right, of our Slack members, our patrons, that none of us are really an active part of, but like they all literally get together and do Zoom calls talking about novels and books that they read. And like I popped into that channel just out of curiosity and said, hey guys, like I'm curious, like what percentage roughly would you say do you mix between prose books and comic? And I expected, like, especially because it was in the book channel, that it'd be like 50-50. Bro, like almost everybody that's our patron is like 80 or 90% books, like prose books, and like 10% comics. And that knocked me on my ass. And I'm like, holy shit, like that's wild, because you all pay to be a part of a comic book community and a comic book podcast. And like yet you read 9 times more books than you do
Yeah,
comics. And
they
it's
read
like,
too much.
well,
They read.
regardless of too much, my point is like I was like, fuck me, like I would really like to get back to reading more books. But like then I feel like I don't really have the time. I don't have the time. I can't read a couple
Yeah,
novels. I can't read a couple novels a month and read comics. I don't have time for that. So it's like,
I
you know.
love that they're doing it. I don't love that they're keeping tabs on the total, because it becomes a thing where I read 257 novels.
Well, but your brain just doesn't work that way. I mean, I'm like with them. I mean, for me, the data is all part of the process for me. Like
Right? But do you love it, or are you reading it to increase your total by one? What's
I mean, I can't. I'm not going to begin to. I'm not going to. I can't speak for other people, but like, I think it's not. They're not mutually exclusive. I
I
think for
don't
a lot of
know.
those people, they're not mutually exclusive. I think they take great joy and pride into seeing how many pages or books they can read in a given period of time, and it also they enjoy the process and the consumption of it itself. Like
Well, they're two different things.
but that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're mutually
Yeah.
exclusive. I think you can both be really into tracking the volume with which you're reading, and seeing if you can read more than you read the year before, and also genuine stuff that I don't think that it's one or the other.
Yeah. I was trying to read more, and it again, when it becomes a thing where you total the books that you've read based on whether or not you enjoyed them, it's two different things to me. Where one is a number and the other is legit. I thought this book was great. I would much rather that you say that. Oh, I would much rather see a this book was garbage.
No, I get what you're
It-
saying, but what I'm saying is I don't know that I want to put. I can't get into someone else's head about why I'm doing like I will every year, right? I go and I look at what I read comics wise, and like I'll be like, oh, I read 1190 comics, but like I'm not like tracking it. Like I don't have like a calorie counter as I'm going, but I keep a list, and then at the end of the year, I'm like, oh shit, I read like that's a lot. But I'm not like, oh, in October I'm up to 1,000. Like I don't. That's not how my mind works. But I am interested in the total as a comparative. Like how much will I ultimately read, and then it's more like how much of that did I really love. And same thing with movies. Like at the end of the year, I looked and I watched I think 108 films that were released last year, and it's like, oh, that's crazy. Like that's a big number, and it's like I loved a lot of films last year. So I'm like, oh, that was great. Like it was a really, like that, like what a good year, for film. It's more of like a reflective thing than like a, but it's not like, oh man, I gotta watch 109 films. That's not what it's all. It's just like, oh, how, like, did I read more? Did I read less? Because to me, that's all like a cadence. Like if I only read 500 comics this year, that kind of tells me in and of itself, like I wasn't really feeling comics as much, like, so yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not going to begin to psychoanalyze other people though. I have no idea do what they do. I'm sure everyone
Same,
has their
same.
reasons.
I just, I think the problem I have is with the totals.
Okay.
Yeah, why bother? I read a
I don't
lot.
know. You should ask them. I don't. I'm sure each of them has their own. I would imagine everyone that keeps a total probably has different reasons why they.
I'm sure they do. And maybe I will ask a question.
Yeah.
But to me, I find that the my notes crucial to determining what I enjoyed. Because if I bring it to the show, chances are really good that it was extremely well written and drawn, or it's the inverse. incredibly boring, and like a total waste of time on the illustrator's part. Uh,
Right.
Chances are good that it will be the former. Otherwise, why talk about it all at all? You know. But the number of books that they read is baffling to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's and that's one of the reasons I'm fascinated because like it's also like what guides your time, right? Like we all have, I mean, no matter what we do for a living, no matter what our lots in life are, like there's only so many hours in each day. Like that's just a fact.
Yeah,
But my point
cut
is
the
like so, but
grass.
I'm fascinated then by the way people choose to balance their time, and I think that's interesting. Like because there is again, there's listening to music, there's going to concerts, there's listening to podcasts, there's watching TV, there's watching
There's a
films,
lot
there's
of distractions.
playing video games, there's reading comics, reading books, exercising, hanging out with your lovers, hanging out with your family, like hanging out with your friends, like going out to eat. Like there's all these things we all like to do, and like I think most everybody listening to this likes to do each of those things to some percentage, but we all have different percentages, and then there's only so much time. Also, most of us have to work for a living, make a living. So I am fascinated by like that interplay and like again
Me
I
too.
can't speak for everybody, but like I know Dap and I both enjoy watching TV, watching films as well. So it's like we're trading off there. I don't really play many video games, just kind of one of the trade-offs I have. But like there is only so much time, and like so I'm always reluctant to be like, well, I don't have time to do this thing because I do have the time, but it would have to come at the expense of something else, and that kind of ultimately speaks to itself, and that kind of gets back to what you're saying is like I get frustrated when I feel like I should know better than to read yet another average superhero comic. And then I do it because I'm like, I could have, there's a lot of other things I almost assuredly would have enjoyed more allocating my time to that.
You're right.
And I'm a grown ass man who knows myself. I should know better. I have no one to blame at that frustration other than me because no one is forcing me to choose doing that over any of the other things that would bring me joy. And that's my frustration. And that's why,
Yeah,
you know,
I agree on that. Like the fact that you haven't thrown the Xbox aside as like I'm just not gonna read them anymore because they're not good. In aggregate, there
it's
are
fucking,
good.
it's fucking clinical. It's like psychology's not the word. It's like but it's mental. It's mental that I still read the X books. It's absolutely mental. It doesn't
It
make any
makes no
sense.
sense to
It
me.
makes no sense whatsoever.
It
It makes
doesn't.
no sense. I agree with you
It does.
completely. Just
Yeah.
like it makes I was saying on the like it makes no sense that I still buy GI Joe Classic. It makes no sense. I have never once opened one of them. I don't have them on display. It makes no sense. But yet we are all flawed beings and we do things that make right? Like, but
Yeah.
like that doesn't explain it. It doesn't excuse it. It doesn't make it like defensible. But it's like, but the only way you ever change these things is to like acknowledge them, right? So
Yes. So it is the first step on your road to recovery.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I
Same
learned
with
tonight that Dad was feeling some kind of way, and he didn't even tell me. See that? It's like he doesn't even share. Doesn't even speak his truth to me. He should like we
Because
talk
I don't
all
want
the
to
time.
do
You
it.
think he could,
I don't want to do it in text on a screen. I'd rather do it when I can talk to you. You get the inflection. You understand where I'm coming from.
no, I hear you.
I mean, it'd be better if it was face to face, but I didn't. I wasn't going to stew on it or let it sit on a screen and talk about it that way. I wanted to
Sure.
wait until. And Vince just gave me the opening. It wasn't otherwise. I would have just. It would have been in the back of my mind until we see each other.
Yeah. Um, he's much more clinical than I am. I just won't read your posts.
Damn.
If I see a post with Superman, Amazing Spider-Man, and it's coming from Jason, chances are really good at this point. I won't read it.
I mean, it's a safe
Yeah,
bet, I
it
guess.
would.
Yeah, it's.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
where yeah, the amount of data And insert word here I get from Jason's voice posts. It's incredible. But if I don't read his thoughts, all of them, on and it's not so much his thoughts on Superman, Amazing Spider-Man, because he never really reveals them. But he just didn't enjoy it. He just thought it was average. Is it the best comic in the world? No, no. But
But like you just said, though, it's we're ultimately in the business of entertaining, right? In some way,
yeah,
shape, or form. And you just said it yourself. There is nothing like the hardest thing to find entertaining is to just tell someone that you experienced something that you thought was average. Like you
yeah,
can have fun if you don't like something. You can throw barbs. You can be a little witty with it. You can get your shots in. You can have a little back and forth, especially if the other one of the others enjoyed it. If you love something, I mean, that's always a holy grail. Love something, come on here. You tell everybody why you love it. Hopefully, they vibe with you. They experience it too. That's the best. That's why we do this. You know.
that's right.
But yeah, like it's just thank God for Absolute. That's all I gotta say. Thank God for Absolute.
There you go.
Yes.
Uh,
In other news, did you guys see that fucking Mark Buckingham drew Wonder Man #1?
And I read it.
yes.
I had no intentions of reading or buying Wonder Man #1 as it
What?
releases that post, and I was like, wait, wait a minute, because
Yeah.
I saw the names on the cover. I'm like, Buckingham is in Mark fucking Buckingham. I'm like,
Yep.
wait, what?
Yeah.
So
And
I
there's
need to
some-
read this. I think I
there's some
don't know if
pages
it's good or
where
not,
he,
but
he channels Jack quite a bit when Simon
Okay.
talks about his early days, but it wasn't. It's written by Jerry Duggan. It's. I read 2 first issues, and I realized I didn't update.
So you
my
want to say
list.
that was average, but you don't want to say that now after our conversation. You're like, I want to say that. It's like,
I just it's
kidding.
I, it's a fine issue. I don't know. It part of it kind of feels like there's a character that he introduces that very much. It almost feels like it could have been a companion piece to the Disney Plus series because
Well, that's my question. I assume this is all related to the Disney show, but then I would have thought, why didn't it come out like 4 months ago, right?
right. There just seems to be like some mystery involved. Hellcat shows up, and apparently Simon doesn't really remember ever working with her in the past. Part of it's just a little weird. Like I don't know what.
Okay. Did they make Simon Black?
No.
Or did they keep him? Okay.
I mean, the first couple pages are awesome because he's wearing the safari jacket and everything. It looks great, and then
Okay.
yeah. But it doesn't. That look doesn't last. But we're introduced to his a friend of his, Randolph Chancellor, who helped Simon get into acting and isn't necessarily. He's one of those friends that always kind of gets himself into trouble, but you can't get rid of him as a friend because you worry about him, you care about him too much. He's like a sad sack, but it's not necessarily, hey, if you want to know who Simon Williams is, then definitely get this. I wouldn't say that. I really don't know who this is made for, honestly.
Right.
But I wanted to read it because Mark Buckingham drew it, and it looks great. I like the way it looks, but I'm not sure if I will be back for the second issue.
Fair. All right.
Yeah. I thought it was Wonder Man, and I
Well, yeah, you just saw Wonder Man. You're like, hip walking. I get it.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So please solicit our sponsor. This cheapgraphicnovels.com. Cheapgraphicnovels.com. If you're looking for anything that's sequential art, has a spine and a retail price, chances are really good that Max has discounted it amazingly. So, cheapgraphicnovels.com. Please leave us a review wherever you heard this. And thanks to DAP, there are a plethora of places you can go to listen to this. Whether it be star-based or word-based, it matters, and we appreciate a review. And don't forget our patrons. Patreon.com/11 o'clock comics. 2 cheers, $5, $10. Easy peasy. In travels, I'm going to go the lightning round because I'm not going to speak too much on these books, but I think you should check them out because one of the things that alluded to in my commentary was that it's something wrong with the main character when a surrogate is brought in at the expense of the main character. And I think nothing or no book does this to the extent that Daredevil does. Elektra has been, yeah, Elektra has been Daredevil for a long time. And what's wrong with Matt Murdock? He's one of the greatest characters in mainstream comics. And this is written by Stephanie Phillips with great art by Lee Garbett.
Yep.
Lee Garbett. Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
oh, nice. Yeah.
with color art by Frank Martin. It's one of those things where you can't reinvent the wheel because, yeah, Matt has made a lot of stupid decisions over the years where now he's a law professor at ESU following Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie makes great purpose in introducing this student named Lauren Baker. There's a foil named Sari Alderson, who is teaching law as well, professional ethics, where we know that Matt makes a lot of stupid decisions. Whether she's going to be a villain, a love interest, we don't know. Could be all of the above. There's a mystery where Detective Forte and this officer Callahan discover a corpse with the eyes removed, a blind person in a Daredevil comic. Say so. I just thought it was not having read Daredevil for a long time. The task of completing the puzzle, where I experienced everything that Elektra has done as did Daredevil, is not something that I want to do. So the fact that it's Matt back in the red suit, being Daredevil, and there's a villain introduced who seems to know a whole lot about Daredevil. So I thought it was fun. Again, does it fit our criteria as great comics? No, but it's something that I'm reading a a Daredevil comic again. Same thing with the Sentry, number one. The Sentry is a character that I've been infatuated with for a long time. Robert Reynolds is incredibly Superman level powerful. Written by the person I think of when I think of this Century, Paul Jenkins.
Nice.
Yeah. Art by Christian Rosado, color by Matt Miller. Uh, Bob is obsessing over the fact that Leica, the Russian pseudo astronaut dog, died because his dog, the watchdog, is dying as well. Where it you bring the Sentry in when things become untenable and you need to stop it. You bring the Sentry in. Well, it Bob feeling sorry for himself in that Leica died in space, and his dog the is up, I guess, dying of cancer. So he's stopping these extinction level events, but stops doing so. He's targeting the kingpin. He's making life difficult for the kingpin, Wilson, as the Void. It's a Void taking center stage because Robert feels that he can't save his dog. Like, woe is me. It's fascinating to me. And I think you should read it because it is a miniseries that arguably the most important, not the word I'm looking for, the most powerful Marvel hero has issues. Read it. And last but not least, Matt Cave is stepping up.
I agree. I agree with
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
where I think that they're consciously trying to introduce books that are well written and drawn and challenging at the expense of the big two. Where is Ted okay? It's just one two written and illustrated and lettered by Dave Chisholm.
Yes.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
But I will say it's weird.
Yep.
Yes.
Ted Green is a poster designer. He works in the marketing department at Stein, the biggest corporation on the planet. And he has taken it upon himself to visit with a stray cat every night. That sounds boring, right? But Ted has someone watching over every move he makes. Whether at work, at home, this person is a woman who is in charge of Ted's well-being. Ted thinks that the Einstein company it's all based on paranoia. It's a culture of paranoia, much like the Sentry. Whereas we're going to war don't trust the language of anyone other than us. He makes paranoid posters where millions of dollars are awarded to a person who has a baby and becomes a soldier, blah, blah, blah. He Ted thinks that Einstein and is a breeding ground for alien soldiers. That he was abducted at some point. See his mouth bleeding. It follows a clinic crew, little tiny droid, uh, in a scenario that has the building. It's rather hard to say. The building is a breeding ground for what looks to me like they're manufacturing soldiers, and this woman who's overseeing Ted can't really say anything without alerting the higher ups to the fact that Ted is not okay. He is far from it, and there's many different things in the first two issues that would lead you to believe that Ted is crazy. But is he really? Right? I think you should read this because out of the three, I think it's the most different, the most challenging, the best written and drawn comic by a company that we don't often throw flowers at. And I think we should because Matt Cave is trying to do something a bit different with this. So Reed said, okay, read them all. They're all good. The Sentry is said okay, and Daredevil #1. I found all of them.
Nice.
I enjoyed Daredevil #1 a lot. That was I read it this afternoon, so pretty much was going to my travels for tonight. We watched the second episode of the second season earlier after dinner, but this issue, like you said, Vince, I mean, it was I do like Stephanie Phillips. I've enjoyed her work a lot. Lee Garbett, I've been a fan of since The Highwayman, way back when. The Death of Doctor Strange, that miniseries, his cover work. I'm a big Lee fan. So seeing them on one of my favorite characters, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to check it out, especially after not loving the Soul stuff. Definitely not feeling Zdarsky's run. So I'm just not. It's been a minute. I felt like getting back to it. So this seemed like the perfect time, and I mean, yeah, making him an adjunct professor, hearing Matt, tell his tale as Daredevil never makes any mistakes, but of course Matt Murdock does, and whoever the hell this seer of the future, and who seems to be either telepathic or can see the future. We don't know much about him yet, but he's freaky as hell. I'm this is a run that I will be reading for a while if this team is in place and has a long story to tell. I mean, there's a great page where Lee even gets to flex a little bit and show Daredevil through the years as he's beating up on some street toughs. You've got the different. You've got the traditional red costume. You've got the OG yellow. You've got the Man Without Fear black, and then the fakakta armored outfit, but it's it looks great. I think, like I said, and Stephanie seems to be really having fun with it. I've seen some of she was I think she was at Midtown like yesterday doing a signing. And she's hitting the third eye, but she just seems to be having a blast so far. I mean, one issue in, but I mean, at least her attitude towards it is nearly infectious. So yeah, I'm and I love the last page as well. But it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to more. So yeah, in your travels, and oh my God, apparently, I mean, I've seen some of the videos of people with the with their blind bag reveals, and there is a phenomenal DWJ variant cover for this issue. A lot of the variants have been pretty nice, but and I mean, it's nothing outlandish or crazy, but it's just, I mean, the image of Daredevil on the cover from that angle, Daniel knocked that out of the park, I felt. But yeah, in your travels, Daredevil #1.
Yeah, and there's a mystery.
And there's a mystery.
Yeah. Well, there's more than one.
Yeah.
There are mysteries.
This became an unintentional Daredevil Glaze Fest tonight.
Yep.
We gave the character mad props up and down his lineage tonight. I love it. Minor Travels is actually something that Dap already described in the opening salvo of deals from our good friends at Cheap Graphic Novels, and that is The Girl Who Draws on Whales. Yeah, which, as Dap already articulated at the beginning, is written by Kristantina. Listen, y'all know this was going to be I mean, so needless to say, this is something I repeat. Yeah, I mean, as you read in the solicit, it's a YA book. I would say that it is a book that, because of my love for whales, and I am a fan of Ariela's art. I think the book works for me on those levels. I don't know that I've, outside of sort of Chabout's Moby Dick or something, like, I don't know that I've seen a graphic novel with this many beautifully rendered whales, if ever, if long time, if ever. So it was really awesome to see. Ariela's work here is, compared to some of her prior comics work, like Insects and stuff, like this is her really stretching her watercolor chops, and it's just beautiful. I mean, as I was reading this and thinking, especially with Cliff just having painted a whale painting, I was like, well, this is a book Cliff would love because he loves watercolor. And there's a beautiful, it's like her style in this book is like very ethereal, that kind of watercolor aesthetic. It's a very desaturated color palette, and it's oceanic, so you'd expect this a little bit, but like teals and grays and pastels, as you noted in the solicit, Dap, like the premise is basically there's a young woman who's she's an artist, Wangi, and she communicates with the whales in a way, in the sense that it's a symbiotic friendship where she paints these big murals on them, but like it's fully endorsed by them. You know what I mean? Like they're not like, it's not like she's like graffitiing the whales. Like they are, it's a symbiotic thing. Like they're allowing her to do that. But whales are migratory, so she'll paint these murals on them, and then they'll go about they'll go on their way and be gone for 8-9 months, which is just because whales travel around the world. And then one time they come back and they have different murals on, and one of the murals looks like a very map, and so her and her brother go on this adventure to try and figure out why there's this mural and map from all these whales, and where I would say it goes into places I wasn't expecting, where it gets sort of supernatural. There's mermaids and kind of like evil mermaids that are monstrous, and there's a dark fantasy element to it that I didn't see coming. And for me, like the things that really spoke to me when we were dealing with Wangi and Banyu and their tribe, and sort of the idea of like communing with whales in a symbiotic way to communicate and sort of share experiences, like that part really pulled me in. I thought was beautiful and well executed. The dark fantasy I was less into because it felt a little like more traditional YA, and needless to say, as a 51-year-old like man, I'm not like the target audience for YA. So like the aesthetic didn't quite pull me in that regard, but it was well done. It's just exactly like kind of thing that I would normally like be gaga over, but just like from the visuals alone, and I think she like there's kind of a bookend. Like you meet the tribe and the artists and understand they're communing with the whales. Then they go on kind of like dark adventure. Then they come back to the community. So the bookends I thought were just absolutely breathtaking and heartwarming and wonderful. And so I very much recommend the book, particularly if you like YA fantasy. But I hope I get to see Ariela at a con soon because I need to have her draw me a whale. Because a girl can, it's not easy to draw whales. So it's like horses. So she does a great job. So yeah, check out The Girl Who Draws on by Ariela Kristantina.
Nice. Well, we hope you enjoyed this, and you come back next time because we'll have more to the same. Do it. Say good night. David.
Good night.
Yeah, but the time I get over to Discord, it'll be not good.
David.
Yay!
Woohoo.
Woo!
Thanks, everybody.
Oh, and make sure you're watching One Piece if you're not doing it. It's fucking great. We just finished the second season.
Yeah, I got to get to that.
I'm actually I'm take 2 at reading the manga. Take 2. So I read up to like chapter like 110, I think, and liked it, but I never got back around to it. Now I didn't realize where they're at. Like I'm like, holy shit! Like it's pretty crazy, but Holden's like super into it, so I'm starting back from the beginning and powering through it. Yeah. Are you still reading One Piece, Spence, or like have you fallen off?
Falling off, yeah. There's so much of it.
It's really incredible. It's a remarkable achievement, man. For one guy to just continue to do it like that.
Yeah. One would also almost say that there's too much of it, but to have done it for so long, and there's no end. I know it's ending soon, but how quickly is soon?
Well, yeah, all I know is, I mean, Holden, a lot of his friends, like, they don't read comics, but they fucking all adore, they all have read pretty much all of the manga, and they all have pretty much watched all of the anime, which is, in and of itself is like 1,000 episodes. Like, so I'm like, it's, talk about captivating a generation. That's
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. I love it.
It's just silly fun.
Yep.
Right? Like it's just silly. I mean, I know I'm not telling you anything. You've been talking about the book for years, but I mean, like it's just a lot of fun. The old comic should be ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's it for that one.